Hey, yeah, good to see you folks. Awesome. Wednesday night. Sty's in town. Yeah, yeah. I was really looking forward to tonight. Hey, I'm gonna take a quick peek out here at the folks that were yelling around on the chat. We had David Jones jump in there early, early. There's David Jones. Hey, yeah, all is well. All is well right now. Hope it stays that way. And then there's Kathy Gahan. Good to see you, Kathy. Yeah, hugs, hearts back at you. There's Harry. Hey, metal music. I told Running Water, I said, that damn metal music. Harry's just driving me nuts. He says, another day at the Sty Shack. Bring your own 24-hour smoked barbecue spare ribs. God, I wish I had some. I'd take some that were just maybe 8-hour smoke. Yeah, it sounds too damn good. There's Blake Hurst. Great to see you, Blake. I'm good. I hope you're good too. Um, oh, and there's Kimberly. Hi, Kimberly. It's awesome to see you, girl. Awesome to see you. Great bunch of folks out there this evening. Great bunch of folks. Um, yes, guys had an odd week. It's been an odd week. Um, don't forget, guys, share this out. Share it out. Get all your friends to show up. Come on over, hang out for an evening. You betcha. Um, I have one person down in the basement at the moment. Hey, Dr. Smith, good to see ya. And I'm going to pull him up. We're going to chat for a little bit. I don't know how long he can hang out with us, but we're going to pull him up, chat with him a little bit. There he is, Running Water. Yeah. He's got kind of an odd connection, and his earbud microphone system went dead on him. So bear with him. It's a little odd. Oh heck, we got somebody else. I'm gonna pull this guy up too. Yeah, Running Water gets a kick out of this guy anyway. Hey, Cheesehead.
Hey,
Hey, good to see you, buddy. How
it's
you
working
doing?
good. I'm doing this off my porch with my pet tab. Just got done eating, burning my lips off with some chicken wings.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Hey, Jadzia Dax, great to see you. The Yeah. So, how'd your trip go up there
Great,
to?
great trip. Fishing absolutely sucked.
Really?
Oh,
I didn't think you guys
water.
ever had bad fishing up there.
We haven't in our. This is our fifth. Well, this was at Lake Vermilion this year, and this was our fifth year.
Hmm.
And we've tried every summer month, and this was the worst fishing we've had. We couldn't even catch a stupid northern. We trolled for I don't know how many hours. Never even got a chance.
Seriously.
Walleye,
Every time I fished Vermilion, I always never
oh,
was skunked. I always got nice walleyes out of
we
Vermilion.
got my
And
nephew. My nephew caught
but
one good walleye.
come to think about it, end of July, first part of August, I've never fished
Yeah,
Vermilion.
no,
It
it
was
was
always early season or September, the very
yeah.
first Labor Day weekend kind of thing.
No, we and the next day it was the hot weather, and then it was kind of windy, but I mean the lake was down a foot and a half,
Oh,
and
wow.
the water was they were deep. Well, I mean we could see that they were walleyes were piled up. We were plunking them on the heads with.
Is knocking them out with a jig.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we had a great time, and like say, and the storms really didn't. That those storms that came through kind of went south of us. We had
Oh, good.
some through, but we pull. Well, we got pretty proficient at pulling the boats out of the water.
Yeah,
The
yeah, you get pretty good at it once you've
the
done it a
dock,
couple of
dock
times.
the dock at the place we rented was very. Let's put it this way: three guys couldn't walk on the dock at the same time. It shook so bad.
Oh no,
So
one of them.
yeah, we figured if snow storm came through, my brother-in-law's boat would have been up in the trees or something. So
Well,
I'll drink.
I'll tell you, Mineral Lake. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say Mineral Lake? Over by my campground. It's between my two campgrounds, and I maintain the boat landing there. Well, that's the only thing on Mineral Lake anymore is that boat landing because they closed the campground. I usually, on a real busy day, might have 5 or 6 rigs with trailers and boats out on the lake. That lake only has boats on it from that boat landing. So you know how many boats are out on it, right? And it's a good sized lake. And I ran through there Saturday and oh my God. I had 13 rigs with trailers. They were parking everywhere you're not allowed. I mean, it's a beautiful boat landing. It's got this big grassy area with these nice big spruce, big pines. Oh, they're parked all over in the grass. Then it's got a big grassy area with a picnic table by the lakefront with all these barriers so you don't drive on it. Oh, no, they went down to the end, drove through the bushes, and they're all parked out in the grass there. And the parking lot was full. And I walked out on the end of the dock there looking out over the lake. Don't see a single boat. But I know that there's 13 boats out on that water at least. All of a sudden, I seen them clouds coming in, and I'm like, there ain't gonna be 13 boats on there for long. And no shit. I mean, they're coming one after another. Well, there's only one small landing there, you know. And these guys yelling at each other, hurry it up, just get it out of the water. It's coming, it's coming.
Yeah.
And
You can only go so fast, you know. It's
yeah. But I couldn't believe it. Every single one of them. I ran back to my truck, put my slicker on, you know, so I could stand out there in the rain and talk to these guys. And every single one of them had great luck. They all limited out on their walleyes,
well,
and it was a good weekend for that lake. It was really good.
I'll have to come try it out because, like you, I also recently just got a new boat.
Yeah, you said that. Hey, Mohawk News Station, great to see you. Welcome, Gemma, sweetie. Great to see you. Yeah, my boat, I just told Running Water, my budget's kind of tight, you know, this summer. So I got this little fund that's no, never touch that. Don't touch that. You know, that's the end of the world fund. Don't touch that. Oh, no, I dipped into that sucker today. I bought myself a battery operated hand compressor for filling air tires and crap.
Okay.
And
where'd you get that?
What's that? I got it at Walmart.
Okay.
I don't even remember what the brand name of the thing is. It costs $45. And my youngest boy's got one and he says it works great. Hey Samantha, sweetie. I would join but have to pick Aiden up in 40 minutes, maybe when I get back. You can meet him. That'd be awesome, girl. That'd be awesome. I'd love to meet him. Yes, it's so great. Her son's there visiting her up in Alaska. Yeah, that's so cool. Okay, but anyway, so the second thing I went and bought myself a bilge pump. I am sick and tired of having to go half swimming to bail that frickin' boat out with all the damn rain we've been getting. I mean, I don't know what's with East Twin Lake Campground. All these big storms come through, wiped out the Namakogan campground, man. It just beat us. The host, goddamn $50,000 bass boat had a 26-inch red pine fall right across the middle of it, busted it right in half.
Didn't they get hit a couple years ago when I took out Twin Lake Campground? They got some bunch of damage at that time too, didn't they? About 4 or 5 years ago.
Not East Twin, up at Birch Grove.
No, the one at what's the campground and what's the campground? Isn't it Twin Lake up by Drummond?
That one. Yeah, that's not a Forest Service campground though.
Yeah, it is.
No, it ain't. There's only 2 Twin Lakes. One's down by Park Falls, and then mine, East Twin. There's Twin Lake down by Park Falls, and then there's East Twin up where I'm at.
Is that a state one then?
I think it is. That one's got a little concession store there, and yeah, that it's got a big public boat
Yeah.
landing you got to pay to use. And
I thought I thought
yeah,
I was
they got hit. That's closer up by Delta, you know.
well, yeah, no, well, actually, no, it's on the other. It's in It's on the other side of Drummond.
Yeah, you know,
Right.
but it's that region up there, and yeah, they got hit a few years back. Birch Grove got hit the worst out of all the campgrounds in our region, but that was 6 years ago.
Well, actually, and then but still, when I think when that campground got hit, that
Yeah,
also that not the Namakagon Lake, or was that Lake Namakagon?
Yeah, Namakagon campground is plagued.
Okay.
That's why I will not. They want me to host that, and I said, nope, ain't happening. No, 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 no. That son of a bitch gets hit every year, and there's always major damage. And the thing is, I said, why doesn't the storm come through and just, hi, Rebecca, um, and but I cannot. But Rebecca, email me your address one more time.
Hey, I'll be
I
right back. I got my wife's calling. Be right back.
Okay, okay. Oh yeah, he better answer that. Ha! My wife's calling. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Rebecca, email me your address again. I made damn certain those went in the mail twice now. Both times out of Clam Lake, or just not far from my campground. This time I'm going to have to put it together. I'm going to stick it in my post office up here. I kid you not. But now you're not the only one. I do have one other person that I sent them something through the Clam Lake post office and never got it. So I don't know if something's going on there or what. But you'd have to see the Clam Lake post office, see what I'm talking about. You walk in the room, and if there's one other person, you can't socially distance. I'm not kidding. It's so small that if there's two people in the post office at the same time, you can't socially distance. You can't get 6 feet apart. That's how small the dang thing is. Yeah, Cheesehead had to drop off. He's talking with his wife. Hey, Crazy Ann, sweetie, hi. The Vanessa Kitty, good to see ya. Good to see you, folks. Gosh, yeah, I needed tonight. I needed it bad. I had a bad week. Well, no, I take that back. Actually, the week was good. The week was good. Yesterday turned out bad. This morning really turned out nasty. I did 5 videos throughout last week. A lot of footage. I hiked that river that I posted a video about that I want to explore. I hiked just a little portion of that. I'm not going to be able to paddle much of that. Probably a couple miles of it maybe, but that's it. Because there's fast water. The current starts picking up, and there's a couple spots that I'd have to portage my kayak, and my kayak isn't like a sit-in lightweight featherweight kayak. That sit on is pretty heavy, and there's no trail to use a cart with it, so I'd have to drag that damn thing down the trail. But I took a hike down there, and pretty cool. Yeah, Rebecca, that it is cool. I got a ton of stickers. I'm going to get on that too. If the weather improves, I'm going to get them on my trailer because I'm keeping the trailer. I'm keeping the trailer for next season. But anyway, so I videoed that. I did another video on a trip up to Beaver Lake Campground. Anyway, I did 5 videos. I got them all rendered, finally finished yesterday. Got them all finished. Ready to put up on YouTube today so that they'd post all week, you know. And I had one more I was going to do, and then I was going to have one for every day until I got back here next Wednesday. So this morning I go take those files, move them over to a file folder on an external hard drive I have, that I bring home with me, and then I upload from there to YouTube. Well, I did a cut and paste over into this folder on that external hard drive. Guess what? Those files didn't get there. And it was a cut and paste. They were gone on the other side. They're not there. They showed up in that folder, each one of them, but each one of them, if you click on them, says zero data. There's zero bytes of data in each one of those video files. Gone. They're gone. They're gone. I spent about 3 hours trying to recover them. They're not there. They're just not there. So I had to scramble and make 2 videos up. So you got a video going up, I believe it's Friday, and one on Sunday this week. That's it, guys. That's it. Sorry about that, but it's something. I had to get something together, and so yeah, I'm a little upset with technology today. But yeah, it's been a crazy week. Been a very crazy week. I've had. I can't say it was a bad week. It was a good week. I had a lot of video content for you guys. I met a lot of really neat people this week out at camp. Very interesting. There was one person I actually ended up doing an interview with her, and then I did a small video about my interview with her, and she was a very interesting individual. She's a Harvard grad, and she's an author, and she was at my campground for the solitude to write. And I told her, I said, if she quit coming to my campsite and BSing, she could get some writing done. Because at one time she came to the site 4 hours. We talked for 4 hours. Yeah, she's very intellectual, this gal, and sharp as a tack. She's a winner. She's not Ivy League, and that was the best part, is she was one of the few non-Ivy Leagues to get into Yale. And she said, boy, you got to work your ass off when you're not part of the Ivy League. If you're not an elite, somebody from the elite world, and you get in there, yeah, she says, it's not easy. It's not easy, because you never do fit in. She said, the whole alumni hates her because that's what she's writing about is the culture of Yale, and how a lot of Yale grads have awesome credentials, but they don't have an ounce of smarts. Not an ounce of smarts. They just got the credentials, yeah. Me Dibble, great to see you. Always copy and paste. You can delete the old one after. Yes, I do. Me Dibble. I do. This is the worst part of it. I was kicking myself so bad for doing a cut and paste instead of a copy and paste. I always, especially my raw footage off my cameras, it's always a copy and paste. Leave it on the camera until I know. And I play all the raw material to make sure it's all intact and not corrupt before I delete it off my camera. I didn't do that this time, and I lost 5 videos. See if that shit ever happens again. No, I was so mad at myself. Funny, with the sun going down, it looks like it's like he's getting pulled over. Oh yeah, there's a flashing light on the one side. Uh-huh. Coming right through the driver's side window. I actually dislike that more than having it come through my windshield. That's when it's hit me. It gets behind your sunglasses.
Every reflects off the inside of your glasses right into your eyeball.
Yeah. 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 Plus the video that's going up Sunday. Watch that one, guys. Yeah, watch that one. I had a camper, elderly couple, and this guy's been a great camper. He stayed 2 weeks earlier this season, him and his son and grandson. And him and his wife came back just for an overnighter, just for one night. And they got what most people consider the best site I've got on the campground. And it just happened to be open. So they grabbed that. I had just had a camper leave the day before from there. Well, we had an explosion in their fire pit. And yeah, it was pretty scary, pretty scary. So I did a video about it, and I kind of show what caused the explosion, get into some discussion about fire pit etiquette in a sense. And so make sure to catch that video on Sunday. It's more of a informational, kind of educational video, but I'm glad I waited to do the video for a couple of days because this happened on Friday night. I didn't do the video until Monday. I did it yesterday. Because if I would have done it within the first 48 hours, I would have had to bleep out all the cussing and swearing. And I took having a fire pit explode on one of my campers very personal. I was pretty bent out of shape. The person that put those items that exploded in that fire pit would not want me to get my hands on them. They would not, especially those first couple of days. Yeah. I would have had fun strapping aerosol cans to them and having target practice. Yeah. See how you like this? Yeah, the Running Water Dash Cam channel. I'll tell you what, my favorite video he ever did was he's driving in the winter and he's blasting with that over the road truck right through the big old snow drifts, and you can just see all of a sudden you just blinded. You can just see all that snow rolling over the windshield. He's hitting snow drifts that are halfway up the front grill of his truck. And he just pounding through them sucker. He ain't going slow either. Boom! And you just your whole view disappears, and then finally it comes back, and you're going, wow! And you can see Bear Road, and then all of a sudden, look at that drift. He hits it. Boom! You're blind for about 10, 15 seconds again. And there's one spot in that video, he hit that frickin' stone drift, and when you can finally see again, he's in the other lane. And I'm like, whoa! Fortunately, everybody else has stopped. Now nobody's moving. So it's kind of like he's a lone ranger flying through that shit down across that highway. I thought, yeah, I loved that video, man. That was great. He needs to do more of that kind of crap.
Nobody else is driving it. They're parking.
Yeah. No, it wasn't an unopened can of beans. It was 3 full butane cartridges hidden in the ashes. Someone put them in there intentionally. Because I inspected that fire pit and I ran my rake through it, but only down about an inch or two. Just to make sure that it's not a live fire pit. You can't see anything, no aerosol cans or junk or garbage sticking out or anything. Those folks, in fact, mentioned how clean they said the fire pit was. And they started their fire on it, and it took about 15, 20 minutes before it got hot enough that those things started exploding. Yeah. They were bad. Yeah. The first one that went off, I kid you not, when we come around the trailer and I looked, it was a column of smoke There was smoke or ground level, but there was a column of smoke out of that fire pit with a big mushroom cloud on top. It looked like a miniature stinking atomic bomb went off inside their fire pit. Can you imagine if you were leaning over that, putting another log on the fire, or standing over it cooking dinner, and that sucker went off? Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, that's why I got kind of bent out of shape and emotional over the whole thing. Somebody trying to injure another camper. I was fortunate that I was the first one to the fire pit after that explosion, and I turned those two around. She had gone into their trailer just as it went off. We thought it exploded inside the trailer, whatever it was. And he yelled at her. Him and I were on the backside of their trailer, and he yelled at her, and she said it wasn't in here. She said it was out in the fire pit. We come around the trailer. She opened the door and she said, I heard a hissing and I slammed the trailer door. And she said, then it blew. And she said, knocked a couple things off the shelves in the trailer. And I walked over to the pit and looked in, and I could see another cartridge in there. And I yelled at both of them, I want you both behind that camper. Get around to the other side of that camper. They complied. They got the hell out of there. I went to pop that thing out of the fire pit with my hiking stick, and it burnt a hole through it, and it took off spinning like a top, blowing flames about 3 feet out of that fire pit. Finally got under it and got it flung out onto the ground, and then it fizzled out. Then, poking around in there just to make sure there was nothing else, I found another one, and I couldn't get my stick under it, so I just reached in, burnt my damn finger, reached in there, grabbed it, and flung it out. And then I thought, oh yeah, I could have blown my hand off. Yeah. After I threw it out, I got, oh yeah, I could have blown all my fingers off doing that shit. And when that one cooled off, I went and picked it up, and it was a full cylinder. It was full. That would have been a hell of a mess. A hell of a mess if that thing would have gone off in my hand, or, like I said, with a camper standing over that fire pit. So it was, yeah, that was pretty upsetting. I gave those folks free camping coupon so they could come back and camp at no cost. And I felt so bad for them, and they were saying, no, did you put it in there? Did you do it? You know, typical mature, kind person that they weren't going to try to put any fault on me for it. But boy, I wanted to get my hands on the people that did it, which in a sense we have. Like I said, they were the very next campers, the very campers before them. Who the heck would it? I had one other camper in my campground, and it was an elderly couple. I don't think those two old folks went over there and let's put these in that fire pit, see if that freaks them people out, No. So we know who was in that site. Got their vehicle license, ran it. Guess what? We got their name. We got their home address. Yeah. Now, Forest Service law enforcement has it. They're sending them a citation. I don't know exactly what the citation is, but they're sending them citation. And they referred it over to legal, and legal is going to press the local DA to have them charged with reckless endangerment. So I feel a little better about it. Hey, Joan, good to see ya. Hi, everyone. Yeah, everyone say hi to Joan. Yeah, I had a lot of neat people. I had a couple from Massachusetts. They had a wedding to go to in Chicago, and they just happened to have until the end of August that they don't have any obligations. And they've got this awesome big van conversion thing. And so they decided they're just going to do a road trip. They left Chicago, went all the way up through Michigan, come up over the UP, and they've been camping along the way, just taking their sweet time. They go maybe a couple 100 miles a day is all, and they ended up in my campground. And I asked them, where you headed? And they said, well, hey, Raven, good to see you. You snuck in on me, buddy. And yeah, they are okay. But I asked them, I said, where are you going from here? They said, never seen the Badlands out there by out there by the Black Hills, on the way to the Black Hills. So we're thinking of doing that. I told them, do it. You're gonna love it. The Badlands are awesome, man. Yeah, I'd like to drive out there just on a vacation kind of thing and just hang around out in the Badlands. And the only problem with the Black Hills now is it's so freaking overcrowded. I mean, back when I was younger, we'd go to the Black Hills and there was hardly anybody else there, But now it's just, I mean, it's like going to a wilderness Disney World, Yeah, at least no one was killed. Yeah, could have happened. Could have happened, boy. My concern was is when that cartridge went off and I saw that column of smoke and the impact around the base of that fire pit. I worried about her more than him because he wore glasses. She didn't wear glasses. If she was standing over that cooking or putting a piece of firewood on there when that went off, the flash burns would have been severe. I mean, her skin would have been just toast. Her clothes could have caught fire from it. But worst of all is it probably would have permanently blinded her from the flash burns to her eyes. It made me sick. Made me sick to my stomach. Hey, Tiger Muskie. Good to see ya. Yeah. So that couple there. So night before last, they that was their last. They stayed 2 nights, and they were only going to stay one, but they said they really loved the campground, and they did get one of my prime sites, and they were kind of all alone up there. And I was doing a walkthrough, and they yelled at me, "Hey, come here, chat for a while." So I walked in and chatted. We ended up chatting almost till the sun set, and that was a good couple hours. And had a few beers. I mean, yeah. He had plenty, so I didn't feel bad having a couple of his beers. He had more than enough to get him through the night. But it was great. It was a great conversation we had. Off they're going to South Dakota, and I said, "Where are you going from there?" They said, "Any suggestions?" They said, "We've got till the end of August." I said, "Hell, just keep heading west, young man. Head west." And I'm jealous. They're a retired couple. He just turned 56. She's 55, and they retired. Oh, isn't that sweet to retire that early? Yeah. Me Diddle says, hearing you talking makes me feel like I want to go camping again, Sty. And then I think back to the last time I was camping. I was sick, influenza. It's not fun being sick in a tent. No. Yeah. No, being sick when you're out at camp isn't fun. I was telling Running Water earlier that it's hard to believe. Just 3 days ago, I had been there a full 3 months. It don't seem like it. It seems like I've been out there maybe a month. But no, it's been a full 3 months. I've only got a month and a half left now. I got the rest of August and then to the middle of September. Actually, I don't have that long to be the host. That's how long I'll be out of camp. Because as of Labor Day, my duties end. Day after Labor Day, they're coming to get the truck and all my equipment, my keys, everything. I won't even be able to change the toilet paper. So I told them, I said, I'm not stealing it, but I might keep a dozen rolls off to the side until I'm done camping, just in case their guys don't show up and keep my bathrooms full of toilet paper. Right? At least I'll have extra rolls. I can go put a roll on the shelf or something in the bathrooms, you know. Hey, Mr. Fulton, I am auditioning for American Idol for season 20, and I'm going to be singing the song called Rock and Roll All Night by Kiss. There you go. There you go. Good luck to you there, Mr. Fulton. Yep. I am looking forward to this fall, be able to get back on my regular live stream schedule. I was wishing that I could have got more content in this season, but I'm finding that I haven't gotten out and done some of the wild things I wanted to do as much as I wanted. And now I got a week's worth of bad weather. See, that's the thing, is just on most of my opportune moments, the dang weather's been crappy. When I got to do stuff for the Forest Service, I'm a beautiful weather, you know. Yeah, there's nothing like cleaning shit houses when it's beautiful out. And then I've got free time. Oh yeah, here comes the rain. Yep, storms. Blowing like the devil. You don't want to be on the lake. Oh yeah. And they wanted me to take a larger campground next year. They said, you'll love it. They said, you get full hookups. We got full hookups there. Water, sewer, electric. You got phone, good phone service. You got everything. I said, no. Kiss my butt. It's an RV campground is what it is. There are no tent campers stay there. There's no common campers staying there. It's everybody with a $500,000 stinking motorhome that's staying there. And I think they've got 30 sites there. So 30 sites of people that have terribly unreasonable expectations. Yeah. The water to my trailer isn't cold enough. Do you come and pick up our garbage? Yeah, no. Plus, I don't get a truck at that campground. Get a golf cart with a water tank in the back to run around and pressure wash, clean the bathrooms and stuff, and checked out the campground. And there he is. He's back. Did you get a wife spanking? You a bad boy?
No, I have to make her supper. She's on a new diet.
There you go.
So
there you go.
And I looked. It's Two Lakes Campground that's out of Drummond. And it is a federal campground.
Oh, Two Lakes.
Yeah, they got.
Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
They got decimated about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, they got beat up really bad in that one. Yeah. Hey, good looking hunky.
Oh, thank you.
I'm not talking to you. Cheese. I'm not talking to you, Cheese. The wife and I enjoy your stream tonight. Thanks. There you go. Yeah, glad you're enjoying the Yeah, some of those RVs, I tell you what, that I've had a few. You know, I get a few that come into my place. You know, I haven't had a single big motorhome yet. I've had the smaller motor homes, you know, the little RV type campers. They're not that little, you know, they're 25 feet long or so. but I haven't had these big 40-footer, diesels coming in, and
They fit there?
um,
Big
the,
Greyhound.
I got two sites that they'll fit in, but I have had some big ass fifth wheels come in there into those two sites where they back the fifth wheel in and their rig's out in the road.
Yeah.
They drop the fifth wheel and then they got to pull the rig in beside the fifth wheel because their sites, the fifth wheel fills the whole damn site, and they could put 20 people under their awning and nobody get wet in a rainstorm. But I visited one and they wanted me to go. Oh, you got to take a tour, take a look at it. I said, this thing's ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous. If I owned that, I would, if I owned their RV, their big motorhome, I would swear to God I was Donald Trump. And and I tell you what, that's all I would do is drive around, park that sucker somewhere just to enjoy it, because
I know.
that thing had 3 pop outs on it, 3 big ass pop outs on it. You walked in there, and I don't know what the total square footage of that place is, but I've seen 2-bedroom homes that weren't any bigger.
Do you know Florida Boy Survival? You know who he is? Heard of him?
Who?
He kind of started the Canteen Cup Friday or Canteen Cup Tuesday thing that was going on. Florida Boy Survival. Matt.
Oh yeah.
Him and his wife, they sold their house and they bought. They're living out of a motorhome.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah. I mean, I don't know,
see, if I didn't live in Wisconsin and didn't mind driving to Texas every winter, then I'd sell my shit off, get myself a nice hard shell camper, and just do that. Just live out of that camper.
Don't do that.
I know a few folks that do it, and you got to be careful, and you got to have a pretty good maintenance budget set aside for all those miles your rig and your trailer's getting hauled. And I don't really know.
Like semi, like running. I mean,
yeah.
For the most part,
it would. Hey, Chuck, Plato Chuck's in the house. It's tempting. It's tempting because you get in the right places with a hotspot. You can have internet on the road, and I could do my live streams and uploading and shit. And then you can just kind of target where the good spots are for that traveling.
Okay, I mean, you go down Florida or Texas or Arizona.
I talked to my doctor because I had suggested I might do that someday, and my doctor said, "Yeah, okay. You do have to come back to Wisconsin twice a year," she said, "for your checkups." I said, "Well, that would have to be spring and fall. I'll see you when I get back, and I'll see you before I leave."
They don't have doctors anywhere else in the United States that can give you checkups?
I gotta see her.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
I don't like doctors at all. She's the only one I like. I told her if she ever resigns, I guess I don't have a doctor no more. Oh yeah, you'd make a good one, all right. And then my pharmacist, he's encouraged me. Yeah, he's one of the guys that said, "Yeah, you ought to do this. You ought to get yourself a trailer and start traveling around." And I said, "Well, what about all my freaking meds?" He said, "Oh, you just pick a town, get their zip code."
Well, you can.
He says, I can mail those to whatever town you want anywhere in the country. He said, all I need is general delivery to that post office, and then you just pull in, pick them up.
Or even if you do it via Walgreens or Walmart, you can transfer.
Well, he's a medicine shop, and he said he can transfer them to like five. He said there's like 5 different pharmacies nationwide. He can actually have them fill my script for him.
Okay.
He pays a service fee for having them do it, but he said, I can eat that. It's not that much. He says, because if I just send the script to that pharmacy, they set you up as a customer, and then they'll charge you whatever they want. And I said, oh, that would suck, because right now I'm getting about $380 worth of meds for $55 a month. I don't want that to change.
No, yeah. When it works like that, yeah, no, you don't want that.
Turn a shipping container into a camper, but leave it looking as much like a container as possible. Yeah. The only thing is they're big enough to make a great camper. The only problem with that is it draws too much attention when you pull it into the campground. People are like, why is there a shipping container over on site number 12?
You want to hear a story?
Well, sure.
My brother-in-law owns a couple of mobile parks down in Minnesota, southern Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
We got a guy come in. He goes, he called him up. He goes, "Hey, you mind if I bring in this unit for a couple weeks?" And he goes, it's currently up in Rochester, but I need to do something or whatever. And yeah, sure, no problem. And I don't know, a couple of days later, he gets a call from his buddy. He says, "Did you approve this?" And he goes, "Prove what?" And he sent him a picture, and it was a freaking houseboat.
A houseboat?
Houseboat.
He hauled it in on a trailer.
No, yeah, he hauled it on a trailer and had it, and he drove down. I tried to call him, the guy wouldn't return, so he drove down there and he waited till he got back. Of course, the city, the mayor noticed it. The city courthouse noticed it. Asked him, says, "So when are you bringing in a marina?"
No.
Because I didn't.
Because
I didn't. He told me it was going to be a trailer. He didn't tell me it was going to. Yeah, it's a trailer with the houseboat on it. And he told the guy, he goes, "You can't. This is not what I agreed upon." I said, "Hey, I says I'm not assured for. I'm not. He legally can't have it there. He's not insured for it." He got. He goes, "Well, he goes, you got 3 days to get it out for him." But he said, and he was not the best. He said, I mean, it's a quaint little town. They don't even have their own sheriff's department, or they don't have a law enforcement agency. There were 3 squad cars running around the block, coming in, making sure that he didn't, because it was him and another guy that didn't look. They were undesirables, I guess would be.
Yeah. These fellas just don't fit. Hey, Running Water. I know he recalls this, but when we were out in Montana, I had bought this little 16-foot canned ham trailer camper, the old canned ham ones, those things. They're neat. I liked it.
They're kind of making a retro comeback.
They are. I'm seeing a lot more of them, but those old ones, they had 16-inch truck tires on them. And you haul that thing down the road and the wind's beating that thing around behind your truck, But I had bought it. I had paid $600 for the damn thing. And it was in awesome shape. The only thing that wasn't like new on it was the color. They painted the some bitch forest green. And so it stood out like a sore thumb unless you parked it in the woods, Well, we had it for a little over a year, and then I just wanted to do something different. We didn't have a use for it anymore, and the ex-wife and I went and looked at this boat that was for sale. Talked to the owner, and he said, "Well, he was trying to come up with what he wanted to get for it. And I told him, I said, you wouldn't take that old trailer I got in trade, would you? And he said, if I'll look at the trailer, and if I like it, we'll make the trade. So he looked at it and he said, God, you look at the interior, it's like brand new. He said, yeah, I'll make the trade even up. You wouldn't believe this freaking boat. I had to have a possum belly flatbed truck haul that thing to our house. It was a 40-foot flat bottom paddle wheel, stern wheel paddle boat. They hauled that son of a bitch to our house, brought it in the front yard, and it filled the front yard. And they jacked that son of a bitch up and sat it on 8 55-gallon drums. They set that big ass paddle boat up in my yard. And I would go out there and I'd fire that thing up, have the paddle going, have a couple of beers up on the deck. Never did get to put her in the water and have a.
How did you get rid of it?
And wait, I kept telling. Okay, yeah, I kept telling my wife at the time. I said, you, me, and the 4 kids, a little bit of retrofitting on this big ass paddle boat. We'll put it down here in the Clark Fork River and live on it.
Yeah.
And she says, what about the winter? I said, the river stays open. It don't freeze over. I said, there's a big sand island out there. We can moor against the downstream side of that. And even if there is ice, it's going to pass us. It's not going to hit us. I said, yeah, we can live on that boat. It took me about a year to find out I was not going to convince her to do that. So I sold it to a guy for $1,000, and he was a logger, and he knew a buddy that had a possum belly flatbed to haul a big D9 cat around on it, and it was just a big enough trailer to haul that boat. He brought it in. We got it under that boat, lowered it onto that trailer, and off he took it, and he put it next to his house in town. And I said, I drove by a couple days after he had come and gotten it, and I looked, and that son of a bitch sitting flat on the ground. They had lowered that thing right down on the ground. Yeah. And I stopped, and he was out there painting on it, and I said, you're never going to get that son of a bitch back off the ground. How are you going to get that thing off the ground? You set the hull right flat on the ground. And he said, right where I want it. He says, that's going to be our guest house, he said. They're turning it into a guest house. But it's kind of cool. Big paddle boat. Paddle still on it. Yeah.
There's a couple.
Hey, hi, Joran.
There's a couple. They're on YouTube. I can't think what they're called.
Hey, Tim. Good to see you.
That they live up in Alaska, I think, or British Columbia or something like that. They're totally off the grid, and they've been now 2 or 3 years. Young couple. They built a yurt and stuff like that. But they got a big. Well, it's not a houseboat, but it's a power boat or whatever with a cabin in it.
Uh-huh.
A bigger, type of thing, and then lake boat, I guess you would call it, or whatever, the sleeping quarters. Sure. Or something. They were going to turn that into a like a VRBO rental type of thing.
Oh yeah.
They built the yurt, but then they were, it was going to be for guests or people who were hiking through or whatever. Kind of they were going to rent it
right.
out.
Cool. You can probably relate to this because you've been up here on the South Shore around Ashland and that. And the big old fishing tugs, fishing tugs.
Yep.
A lot of them, they'll retire them. And if they can't sell them to another commercial fisherman, they're no good for nothing but commercial fishing, right? So they usually end up just dry docking them. They get them up on shore somewhere and they timber them up, and there they sit. And you see them all along the South Shore, retired fishing tugs. Oh man, I kicked myself. Right after my divorce, an old friend of mine, old commercial fisherman, decided he was going to retire. He's going to just shut her down. He couldn't fish no more. He just couldn't handle it. And he was having a hard time keeping a good crew on. And so he decided he was going to retire. Well, he had a tug that was built in 1938, and it was a double oak plank fishing tug with a steel outer shell. That sucker didn't leak a drop. And that thing was huge. Well, for a fish tug, it's huge. Fish tugs on Lake Superior never exceed 40 feet. And there's a reason for that, and that's because of the swells on Lake Superior. They figured it out that if you're over 40 feet, you can end up with hull failure in the center of your boat, crossing swells. So all fish tugs are 40 feet or less. Well, this one was a 38 footer, and it had a little diesel motor in it. Had the biggest damn prop you ever seen. Great big ass, about a 28-inch prop on that damn thing. And I had been in that boat, and we were out there in gales, stinking swells that are 10 and 11 feet tall, high. And that big old boat just balances up and down like a big cork, like a big bobber out there. And he asked me, he said, "You wouldn't be interested in buying it from me, would you?" And I said, "You're only asking because you know you ain't going to sell it, and there's nobody going to buy the son of a bitch." You know, commercial fishermen in Lake Superior are kind of a dying breed. And you got to be Native American to start with. And it's just a dying industry right now. And it will be. And he says, "I'll sell her to you really cheap." And I said, "What's really cheap?" He said, $2,000. I said, "You got to be freaking kidding me," because I know that diesel engine cost them about $1,200 to have that thing completely rebuilt. That diesel was made in 1951, and he says it's never had any major work done on it until I had it completely rebuilt. And he says, "Boy, she runs good," you know. But the nice thing about it is it doesn't use a lot of fuel. There's a little single one lunger, you know, and all you hear is pop, 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 and it's spinning that big asshole prop faster than you could believe. Tough motor, you know. And I'm thinking $2,000. Well, what the hell am I going to do with it, you know? And he told me, he says, I can get you a lease for my moorage down at the fish company in their marina. He says, it'll only cost you $800 a year. And he says, and it's guaranteed moorage. You pull in there, that's your spot, man. He says, forever. Right there by the fish company. You can get all the fresh fish you want any day of the week. Just get off your boat, walk into the fish company. And I got to thinking about it. And he said, and that was a nice thing too, is he had a coal stove in it, plus he had a little propane RV furnace in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked that thing over and I thought, this is awesome. I could put a bedroom in there. I could have the galley and a living room area, and just insulate the cabin, you know, to keep it warmer in the winter. And I said, "What do you do in the winter?" He says, "Oh, let her freeze in. We never pull them out of the water, them fish tugs. That's all steel hull with a double 3-inch thick plank hull and steel on the outside." He said, "No, you just freeze it in and hope that as the ice freezes around it, that it raises level. It doesn't tip." He says, so you moor it away from the pier so that you get the equal amount of ice all the way around it. It raises up level. I said, "Oh, cool. Yeah, that's cool." And I got to thinking, yeah, you winter in it in the summer. And he says, and then, shit, you want to go down to Ashland for a while? Just putz her down there and pay for a slip for the night, a one
You have
night,
to-
two
you have
night
a- you have
rental.
to be licensed. You have to have like is it a skipper license or something to drive one of them?
No, all you do is you license it as a pleasure boat.
Oh,
Just
okay.
like you would, just like you go out,
You're
buy
about
a
to-
day, you buy yourself a day cruiser. You just get the Wisconsin license
Yeah.
on it, like any other damn boat. He
Okay.
says, because you're not using it for commercial
Yeah.
purposes, you don't need to have a pilot's license. You don't need a captain's license.
Okay.
I thought, what the hell? I was that close, man. I was that close to doing it. And there's days that I kick myself for not doing it when I could have. Can you imagine my YouTube content if I would have gone that way? Man, that would have been pretty awesome. Life on the boat.
How many years ago was that though? Was there YouTube even back then?
Oh, shut up.
No, I was trying to be. That was not a normal snarky comment. That was
that was 2014, 7 years ago.
Okay. Well, there's YouTube was in his infancy then, I guess.
Yeah. Yep. And I thought about it. I thought, well, I could rig that up so that during the summer months, I could live on it, but I could also use it kind of as a charter boat. You don't need a pilot license to have a charter boat either if it's under, I think it's under 42 feet. You don't need a pilot's license or captain's license. So I would use it as a charter boat and take divers out to the wrecks around the Apostle Islands.
There you go. That would
have, yeah. And only allow, groups of 6 or less, and I just ferry them out to those wrecks and let them dive. And help pay my bills, That would have been fun.
You could have ferried them to Madeline Island.
Yeah. Oh, shit. I'd be a rich man with what the ferry charges per person.
Yeah.
I was heading over to the island. Now, this is 2 years ago. I decided I haven't been out to Madeline in forever. I got to go out there.
I'm thinking. Okay, I said Madeline, but I was actually thinking Isle Royal.
Oh, the Isle. No, I'm not going. No. No, even in one of them. In fact, this fish tug went all the way to Grand Marais. They got lost in a storm out there, and his navigation equipment crapped out on him, and he had just removed his ship's compass out of the boat because he is depending on all electronics. And their electronics failed, and they were he figured they were about 16 miles off the mainland, off the Apostles.
That's really a stupid idea.
And, well, the guy's been sailing for 50 years, and he thinks he knows everything about Lake Superior. Well, so he's out there, and he's got a 3-man crew, and all 3 of them guys are crying like babies. We're going to drown. We're going to die. And he's so, shut the hell up. We'll get home. And he said, then they saw a light. And he goes, oh, we're in luck, man. That's the lighthouse out on Long Island. We're heading, if we keep going straight, we'll be passing Basswood Island. This is cool. We're heading right towards Ashland. So they just kept going and going, and it seemed like that light wasn't getting any closer. And then finally, when it was getting closer, and they saw the light on Isle Royal go by, they pulled into Grand Marais, just about out of fuel. He said that was kind of nerve-wracking to find out that they went all the way across Lake Superior to Grand Marais in a 38-foot boat.
Yeah.
And bringing it back, guess what? He came back alone. Nobody would ride in that boat back with him. He said they all told him, you're going to drown out there.
Yeah.
But those old fish tugs, I tell you what, they're a lot safer than them big old oar boats.
Oh, yeah.
like I said, they just bomb out there like big bombers. Yeah. Running Water must have parked his truck. Holy smokes.
Yeah, thrown from the
People,
truck.
that look at that. Scenery. What the hell? Welcome to the truck stop. The
Hi, can you hear me?
but yeah. Not that we want to, but yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I needed to get fuel, so and it's getting too dark to see inside the cab, so I figured you guys can watch my front bumper.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. We'll make sure no bugs hit it. Yeah. But yeah, yeah. If I would have bought that old tug, that's where I would have been living. Because every single penny I had would have had to have got into that thing. And I knew that would be a one-time decision. That I won't be able to back out. If I go into it, I'm not going to be able to back out. There'll be no options.
All of a sudden you're paying for, well, all of a sudden you're paying, well, I'm not sure the insurance on that would be real cheap.
Yeah, well, that's it too. Is how do you insure it? Do you insure it as a recreational boat? Do you insure it as a houseboat? Do you even insure it as a boat if you're just going to stay in port all the time and never go anywhere? If I was doing charters, I'd definitely have to have not just insurance for the boat, but liability.
Liability, whatever else.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the cost.
So,
well, like this. How much?
it'd
be a small fortune to fill up the tank, wouldn't it?
the tank on that bugger is 40-gallon tank.
So I mean,
That's so you're talking $120 to fill that damn thing, but a tank of fuel, they take that thing out fishing all week, and he'd only fill that tank once a week, and they're out there with that tug for 10 hours, so that they get a lot of hours off of a gallon of fuel in that thing, but still, it's still, you got a lot there. It would have been kind of interesting. On the road again.
There's a place up on the North Shore. My wife, we looked at it one time, and we never stayed there. But it's a motel all made out of boxcars.
Oh yeah, cool.
And I mean, I think there's, I'd say there's got to be 5 or 10 boxcars. Which is kind of a unique thing. I mean, they're small. Not nothing too big, but
right.
An experience.
I had a friend out in Montana that it was a great idea, but when he found out what it cost him to have it shipped to him, then he said, "Holy shit, it's going to take 5 years to break even on my little business." Wow. But he bought a big ass caboose and had it shipped to him out in the middle of freaking Montana, out in the mountains, and he had it put out by the highway at his house and opened a diner in it, a little drive-up diner.
So like Delta,
yeah, their diner car is awesome, isn't it? I like seeing it when someone repurposes something like that. That's cool. I love the Delta Diner, man. I like that place.
We were up there. I guess we were up there a couple months ago. We went up there for Burger Monday.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love their breakfast too.
Oh, yeah.
What is Running Water using to stream with? His phone. Yep. He's using his phone, and he's Bluetoothing it, I guess, through his GPS system somehow. That's why through his truck stereo, and the way that works is we don't hear any background sounds, to speak of, that loud beeping you'd hear, but other typical background sounds, the sound of the motor running and stuff, you don't hear. Yeah.
Yeah, that means it was the bypass transponder for the scale. It reads my truck. They already have my permit. Tell me to keep rolling.
Right. I couldn't believe that when I heard when they first started doing that crap, where you could bypass certain scales because they got your truck history, they got all that shit, and it's all and your truck's talking to that scale, tells it what you got on, and it gives you permission to just blow by. Back when I drove, it was you blow by, and guess what? You're going to have 3 state troopers chasing your ass down, turning you around. And back then, these truckers always came off with this BS. They'd BS each other so bad. If you get more than a mile away from that way station, they can't make you turn around and go off route to go back there. I had them sons of bitches. I was over 9 miles from that scale. They turned my ass around, made me drive all the way back to that scale. And I tried the 1 mile argument with them, and they laughed and they said, if that was even legitimate, we'd say, okay, we're not going to make you drive anywhere until the portable scales get here, and we'll have you pull up on those. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, shit, There's always a DOT officer somewhere within the county with a set of portables, Yeah, Crazy Ann's loving it there running water. She likes road trips. Yeah. And that's pretty sky there where you're at. Yeah. Are you still in Kentucky?
Yeah. I'm like an hour south of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Or not Cincinnati, Lexington, sorry. I was lost.
Oh. Hey, Native Grammy. Good to see you, sweetie. Hey, I kind of responded to one of your comments about the campground. Do you remember what dates you were going to be there?
Who?
I got Native Grammy was going to stay at my campground this year, and circumstances were such that she's not going to be able to make it. She's way out in Oregon, but she was going to, and she comes from this region originally, and
I think she lived in Hayward, I think.
Yeah. Oh, you answered. Okay, girl. Oh, August 11th to the 16th. Thank you, sweetie, for letting me know. Yeah, I can pull up that report. I haven't looked at my full annual report in 2 months. I'm too busy with each of my 2 weeks. Every stinking day when I pull my 2-week report up. So if I pull that report up today, it shows me the next 14 days. Everybody that's showing up, everybody what day they're leaving, right? Now tomorrow I pull that report up. It adds a day to that, right? And sure enough, there'll be people coming in on that day, so I got to fill out reservation cards, go get them out on the posts. And what's that?
Speaking of posts, is your sign still up?
Nobody getting that out of the ground. They're going to have to use a hacksaw to cut that sucker off. You aren't pulling that out. Crazy Ann wants you to pick her up there running water and give her a ride. Yeah, she wants to ride with you. But he says, all right. But yeah, that sign, the forest ranger, He said, "I'll help you out, Sty. I'll reinstall that sign." I said, "Okay." I said, "I'm tired of doing it." Well, he went out there and he took a post hole digger and dug down about a foot, set that signpost. That signpost is 8 feet long. Set that signpost in there, drove that sign down, and only 48 inches of it sticking out of the ground, right?
Mhm.
Well, that signpost's got these tabs that flop out on it once you put it in the ground. And it's only got two on it the way it comes from the factory. Well, he disassembled one and added two more to mine. So there's four on it. And then that foot post hole that's that big around, he took like 6-inch round stones, big rocks. He dropped rocks down there and used a big rock bar that we use for breaking rock apart when we're building steps and stuff. And he used that rock bar and he pounded them stones down in that damn hole, all the way around that post, all the way to the top within about an inch. Then he put this big old plug of sod on top of that, so you can't tell there's rocks down in there. And I went out there. You can't even wiggle that freaking pole. I've never seen a pole installed so tightly without concrete. I mean, I thought, shit, the only way to make that any salt more solid was fill that hole with concrete. But
Yeah.
hey, Dennis Canoe Hounds in the house. Packing up for a canoe trip. Lucky bugger. You lucky bugger.
My wife mentioned we over Labor Day weekend we may make a road trip out to Yellowstone
Oh, wow.
for a week or
Wow.
so. She really hasn't had a vacation, and even though we got another vacation in October planned, but she just wants to get out. And she's got
Yeah.
her college roommate lives up in I think Billings.
Oh,
It's about a 6 hour. It's a 6 hour drive north of Yellowstone, and we didn't actually when we were out there we didn't the Roosevelt entrance or whatever they call it.
yeah.
We didn't hit that side of the park because there was a snowstorm or something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, but we figured that's a nice little 2 day
Yeah.
drive there and
Yeah.
just bum around and
Yep. Oh, you betcha. You betcha. Yeah, I had a couple in my campground 2 weeks ago. They had bought a brand spanking new, really big, beautiful pop-up camper. I mean, they had queen beds on both ends and beautiful tent camper, man. It had once it was up, it had everything.
oh yeah.
And that even had a tent style pop out on the side, big pop out on the side, tent style. They went out to Yellowstone. They were pissed. They had to leave the park to camp. They said they did not know that they don't allow tent campers in the campgrounds of Yellowstone.
Oh really?
Yeah, no tent campers,
Oh,
but you can be a tent camper, but you can't have a tent camper. Yeah, they say
What?
that they're not bear safe. They're not bear safe. So,
Fences?
but a tent is well. They figured backpackers are tent camping, but for actual in the campground campers,
That way. I mean,
it was a weird thing enough to really piss the two of them off.
I can imagine.
They said they found a beautiful campground outside of West Yellowstone, though, and they said they were glad they were there. And they said actually the cost was about half too. So,
oh, I'm sure.
But they said that they had reserved a campsite in Yellowstone, but they had said in the reservation, they asked what you're using for camping, tent, camper, whatever, and they put in trailer. And then when they got there, they said, "Oh no, 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 no!" And they showed them their rules. No tent campers. Sorry. Hey, Dutch Prepper, good to see ya. Yeah, that's a bummer. I mean, yeah. And it does. I told them. I said that's just some moron that don't know what the hell they're talking about coming up with that rule, because I guarantee you could have paid $500,000 for a motorhome, and them bears in Yellowstone, if they want to come in, sit down with you for dinner, they're coming through the door. They will have no problem getting in your camper.
We got 5 can openers on each paw. That just
Yeah. They got the best can openers in the world, man.
they want to get in there. They're going to get in there.
That's it. And at least with a tent camper, they're not going to destroy it as bad as they will a hard shell. They'll tear one of the bed ends open and climb in. Your hard shell, they're going to rip the door off the hinges and can open half of the wall.
That's hit him with the bear spray. All you're going to do is piss them off.
That's it. But we used to tell people that back in Montana when they first started coming out with the whole bear spray thing. And we always told them, if you got a missing hiker, you just hike down trails and you look for bear shit. And you kind of go through that bear shit. First thing you do is smell it. And then you go through it. And if it smells like pepper and it's got bells in it, you found the hiker. Yeah. Sprayed them with that pepper spray. I mean, bears like pepper on their food too, Go ahead, spray me with that shit. You're just adding seasoning to you.
But say there was when it might pop up in my Facebook feed, memories of a guy encountering a grizzly and 2 cubs, and he was walking backwards, facing them. And they just kept following him. He was a little worried, but I mean, it's just like he ain't gonna.
Yeah, I've had enough bear encounters that I think if the odds are truly against you, by just encountering them, I would have been bear shit by now. Yeah.
I'd say 9 times out of the 10, the bear they don't want nothing to do with it.
They don't want nothing to do with us.
The one time I was my old boy here, he was young. He was a big puppy. He was probably a year or 2 years old. And I was up in the Sealy Hills and done a big hike. And I was probably 100, 200 yards from the truck. And all of a sudden I hear this click, 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 click. And I look up the tree and I go, Benjamin, why are you and I just didn't even pivoted around and started walking there and started calling him like that. That's not Benjamin going up that tree.
Yeah. Oops.
Hike the 5 miles back.
Hey, neighbor girl, good to see you.
Wasn't going to stick around too long to see if he was too far, but but it just was like, simultaneously, Ben, what the hell are you? Oh. That's not Ben. Ben couldn't do that if he wanted to.
I'll never forget. We had this, and it never went public outside of our community out in Montana, in the town of Libby and Troy. It hit the local papers, but it never went nationwide. I don't understand. Well, the internet wasn't such a big deal in the mid 80s anyway at that time, so things didn't go viral on the internet or not.
Well, I don't think there was internet. Was there?
Well, there was, but it was real clunky. Clunky.
I just said there wasn't even.
There was 90% of what you could get off the internet back then was kind of government stuff,
It wasn't real.
It's data, print, not videos. There was no videos. It was
I
all
don't think there was that. I don't think.
documents.
Well, technically, I don't think the internet started to like '92, did it, or something like that?
Well,
Late '80s.
that,
We never had
no,
any.
no. In 1988, I was running full internet, but
Right?
but in '88, you got pictures of shit, but there was no video stuff going on.
Yeah, in high school, we
Yeah.
never had. I don't think I
Yeah.
don't computers with I mean, we had computers, but I don't remember any internet back in high school. At
No.
all.
See, in 1976, I worked for a firm called Data 100, and I I had to go online every shift. I tested all the ICs and all of the CPUs for computers worldwide. We were one of the few firms that would test all of those chips. And but we had to go online to do that. Well, at that time, to go online, you're going to a government mainframe is what you're doing. And that's the closest thing to the internet in the 70s, right? And that was just through landline connection. But we didn't even get to use we didn't we were our research and development department had CRTs that were about 10-inch screens, and they were all green print.
Yeah.
The rest of us all had paper terminals that printed on green bar miles and miles of paper every shift. And our programming was all done on yellow tape, on yellow paper ribbon. And it just hole punched it all with zeros and ones, And yeah, those were the fucking days.
Did you ever watch this movie Hidden Figures? It's a NASA movie.
I don't know.
They're hidden. Yeah, Hidden Figures. It was more or less about the 3 Negro gals who were NASA number crunchers. NASA hidden, and how whatever. I think it was during when they were trying to get to the moon.
Uh-huh.
They were trying to get first be the first one in space because John Glenn character and
right.
They were trying. They asked the gal that she was running the numbers about, if the numbers were going to work from the launch. Anyhow, it shows how they're doing all this and how they had it brought in. I think it was IBM at the time or whatever the first they had put in this whole new computer system. And they couldn't get it to run.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's based off a true story.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Now there was a gal who was in charge of these gals who did the number crunching.
Mm-hmm.
But she was the daughter of a mechanic, and she started looking at the manual, and she started getting the thing to work.
Uh-huh.
And the guys, what are you doing? And all of a sudden it's working, and they're like, "How would you do it?" She goes, "I read your directions, put this into this, but then boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
They actually named then whatever this computer room after her because she kind of.
I've never seen that movie, but I remember that story about those gals. Now, that's one thing that freaks people out when they find out. See, I really was into the Apollo missions. I tell you what, I was a kid when they first landed on the moon, and I knew more about that than all of the science teachers in school. They had me doing presentations to classes because I built this huge Saturn mission rocket model that was so freaking detailed. It took me about 8 months to finish constructing that. And they had me do these big presentations and shit in school. And I just loved the Apollo program. But what really freaks people out, and they find it so hard to believe, but our moon missions, and because of gals like them, that's the only reason it succeeded. the whole Saturn rocket system had the computing power of a Texas Instruments hand calculator today.
Oh, yeah.
That's all the power they
Yeah.
had as far as technology.
Well,
The-
back the
the-
first space shuttles would
s-
run on a
iPad.
No, well, iPad or a cellular phone.
Right. Well, iPad is the standard they
Well, no,
use.
but iPads are more
is-
than
but
iPads are bigger than cellular. But
But
with
they
that.
were. It was beyond a cellular phone
Right.
for the space shuttle, but it was no more than an iPad.
Right.
And the limitations, and that's it, is their communications were nothing but advanced cellular communications to start with.
I have a gal friend of mine, gal I went to school with, who I've known her since 4th grade and all that stuff. And she's, saying, no, she still thinks that the moon landing was fake and all this stuff. And I go,
Oh, one of them.
she goes, how come we never been back? I said, because I rediscovered it's a big ass rock. There's nothing worth of value on it.
That's it. We got no reason to be there.
No reason for it. I said, so if we didn't go to the moon, did we go to Mars? Is that?
Yeah.
You know.
Where did we get all them pictures of Mars?
Yeah.
Who the hell took those if we didn't go there?
I
love the whole moon conspiracy thing. Oh, did you see the flags waving? And I love the fact they just try to explain to people the physics behind it. And they say, yeah, if you have a flag like that in zero gravity and you give it a poke, it'll sit there and it'll wobble, and it'll wobble for days because there's no resistance. There's nothing to stop it. It takes so long for it to quit moving that it has the appearance of being in the breeze, and people go, no, they're lying to us. That's wind blowing on the moon. They did that out in the desert in Nevada,
And there's in a vacuum, the solar radiation going off to a darker surface will actually propel that surface away.
Yeah.
That they have those things.
It pushes it.
Wheel. Yeah.
Yep. And that's why they talk about sails in space.
Solar sails.
Solar sails work just great.
There's only 6,000 people or whatever that were part of the whole part of it, and they've been able to keep a secret for.
Absolutely. They cut the tongues out of every one of them, right?
Hey,
Boomer, good to see you.
And as I told her when we go into this stuff, and I said, you tell the families of the astronauts that died in the fire trying to get, was that was it Apollo 9 or
yep,
something like that?
Now, what about the guys that took that wonderful ride on 13? They were not coming freaking home, man. I tell you what, you talk about all these. It took all the brains at NASA, not a computer. It took all that gray matter to figure out how those boys were going to survive enough to get back on this planet. And okay, now how in the hell did they burn up those capsules the way they are when they are retrieved, and get them high enough up there to drop them off to be able to film them sons of bitches coming into orbit and landing out in the ocean and going out and picking them up? How did they stage all that shit again? I mean, okay, we didn't even have movies at that time with that good of graphics. I mean, come on.
Well, and the biggest question is, what would the gain be of flying them out?
Yeah, what, and they said it, and a lot of the conspiracists say, oh, it was all political because we needed to show the Russians that we were better than them.
Yeah.
Well, the Russians got plenty of footage too. You can see a lot of that shit on YouTube now too, of their cosmonauts. That them poor dumb bastards, they don't drop in the water, man. They bounce them right off of the goddamn Siberian goddamn wasteland out there. And I watched this video, and they showed where the Russians typically land, and they were showing aerial. potholes where those capsules have hit over the years. It looks like the surface of the moon. And these boys are inside that thing taking that impact when they get back. There was an old joke back in those days where when a Russian capsule returned, the first thing they did was they opened the door and the man in charge would say, "Did the dog survive?" They were more concerned about the dog, whether it made it or not. The hell with the pilots, And cosmonauts, I mean, they send a cosmonaut up into space, and he's got a monkey with him. And he thinks he's important, man. He's going to space. He's got this monkey with him, right? He gets up there. All of a sudden, he hears over the radio, "Monkey, fire such and such an engine." That monkey. A few minutes or so goes by. "Monkey, you need to correct your course. Fire this engine for so long." That monkey corrects their flight. Comes back on and tells the monkey, yeah, you're doing good, monkey. Just keep up the good work." And that cosmonaut says, "Wait a minute. When are you going to have me do something?" They said, that's coming. About a half hour later, it's "Cosmonaut." And he goes, "Yes, sir, I'm ready." Feed the monkey. That's the only reason there was a cosmonaut along, was to feed the damn smart monkey. Yeah.
I gotta go. My tab's about ready to die. So.
Okay, buddy. I am so thankful you popped. It was great chatting with you, man. Yeah, I spend all week with people I don't know. It's great to spend a Wednesday evening with folks I do.
Well, maybe somebody else will for you, but like I say, I'll have to bring out the new boat. We'll have to go try out that lake. You said that's.
Yeah. Mineral Lake. They've been having luck up there. Yeah. So you take care in the meantime, buddy.
See you later, Running Water, and everybody else that's in the chat. I can't who's all here, so
yeah.
See you later. Have a good one.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, heck. I was kind of hoping. Let's see what time it is here. It's not that late. It's possible. Whoops. I just lost my earbuds. I guess I need the set with longer cables. I don't know why. I was using my Bluetooth when I did live streams. This fall I'll tweak and figure out what's going on, but for some reason my Bluetooth wants to cut out on me with this desktop. They work fine on my laptop and my other old desktop, but they don't like this desktop for some reason. I'll be sitting here and all of a sudden, boom, they just cut out. And then it says that it's, trying to hook up again, and it just goes on and on, trying to pair. And then I got to go into settings and refind it, reconnect. It's just, so I just use hardwired earbuds and they work fine, but I'm limited as to how far I can get from my studio and just about yank my ears off when I forget how short the cable is.
Oh, and that sucks if you stand up and go a long way and they get pulled out your ear.
Yeah. Boing. Oh, yeah. And then I was glad when I got my good Bluetooth because, I get any footage of Frank and Monk yet? No. He's a smart little bugger, boy. Now he's in trouble. Frank and Monk's in trouble, by the way, out there at camp. Twice now he's raided my camp kitchen. I think he's got it figured out again. Stay out of there, because I caught him 2 days ago. I think it was 2 days. Oh no, 3 days ago, I caught him going in there, and I didn't make any noise, and I had my hiking stick. And I walked around the doorway, and there he is. He's up on top of this table I've got with equipment on it, and it had a chunk of pool noodle. And for some reason, he was into that. He's tearing chunks off of it. Well, he didn't catch me coming in that door, and I grabbed my hiking stick, and the table that's got my Coleman stove, my coffee pot, and all kinds of noisy things on it. I reached over with my hiking stick, and I gave that table, the top of it, a good whack. And Monk just about hit the roof of that tent. He's chattering like mad, and I yell at him, "You get the hell out of my kitchen!" He went flying out of there, and the last couple of days, he comes into camp like he usually does, and just never know when he's coming into camp. But he comes in and he looks at the camp kitchen, but he won't get within 10 feet of it. Yeah, he figures there's something in there that's going to get him. So I think he's been retaught. Stay out of the camp kitchen. He wasn't after the food, though. He was chewing up a blue pool noodle. So now I got a mess to clean up. I didn't get it cleaned up yet. I got to get in there, move a few things, and rake it out, get all the pieces he bit off of that pool noodle. One thing that's bothering me is that I have not gotten the amount of time I thought I would get into practicing my string instruments. That's really bumming me out. I'm hoping here now. It's just been so damn busy, just so busy around camp. Oh, I had one situation. I had done a video. That was one that got lost. But out on my campsite number 10, which is a walk-in site, it's way in there. Well, if somebody's out on 10 and they're loud, you can hear them in the main campground. I had 8 guys in there last weekend. I couldn't believe it. Their first night in there. 10 after 10. Now, campground rules, and it's big as day on the board when you come into the campground. It tells you quiet times, 10 o'clock. 10 after 10, I'm hiking into that campsite to tell them guys to tone it down. I got campers in the campground complaining that you guys are over here yelling and hollering, laughing, carrying on, and it's after 10 o'clock. So I go in there and inform them, you got to shut her down, guys. I don't give a shit if you stay up all night, but you got to stay quiet. You can't be disturbing the other campers like that. Oh, yes, sir. Yes. Oh, yeah. We'll shut right up. I hiked all the way out of there, got all the way back into my camp, and I couldn't hear them. And I thought, okay. And then about 10:45 or so, I could hear that they're having a conversation, but it's not loud, right? Not where it would disturb them. Okay, that's fine, So I got my trailer, and I put my earbuds on, and I started watching a movie. Because I can watch movies in my trailer. So I'm watching a movie. All of a sudden, boom, 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 on my trailer. And I thought, what the hell? And I looked at my watch. It's 11:30. Pulled the earbuds out, opened the door, and here's a camper from each side of my campground. And they're both standing outside my door. And I go to say to them, how can I help you at this time of night? And I could hear them, guys. There they are over there, louder than shit again. But I had my earbuds in, so I couldn't hear them. Oh, these guys, both of them were tent campers. And they're like, man, we're trying to go to sleep. And we met up on the way here to your site to let you know those guys are too loud out there. It's just driving everybody crazy. And I said, well, I'll take care of it. So off I went. Hiked all the way down the road and all the way into Site 10. got in there and said, "That's it, guys. That's it." It's an hour and a half after quiet time, and you're keeping campers awake now. I said, if you don't shut it down, I will be shutting you down. You got to stop. Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, we will. Well, these 8 guys, I'm looking around, and the number of beer cans laying on the ground, each of them had at least 8 or 10 beers. And I told them, I'm not kidding. You got to shut her down. If I even hear your voice again, I'm going to be right out here on your ass, and I'm going to be shutting you down. All of a sudden, I got back to camp, and it was late enough. It was almost midnight. I went to bed. Well, I wear a CPAP machine, right? And that makes a hissing sound. And I fell asleep. All of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. Somebody's knocking on my damn trailer. I jump out of bed, pull that mask off, answer the door. And I go, how can I help you? And here it's the one guy. It was a guy and a gal that came at 11, after 11, at 11:30. And it's the guy. He's there, and he goes, man, I don't know. He says, if those guys can't, if you can't get them to shut up, I'm hoping that the Forest Service is willing to refund my camping fee. He says, it's 1:30 in the morning and I can't sleep. I grabbed my watch off my table and looked at him. Jesus Christ, it's 20 after 1. And I can hear him. And I told him, I said, go ahead, head back to your campsite. I'll take care of this crap once and for all. I jumped in my Forest Service truck, drove up to the entrance to their campsite, and I got beside their vehicles. They had 2 vehicles. Got beside them enough, turned the brights on down that trail to their campsite. Well, our radio in our truck has a PA in it. I hit that PA, and I yelled on it, shut it up. I'm on my way in. And I hiked down in there, and I couldn't believe, with those bright lights behind me, great big old 20-foot shadow in front of me going down that trail. And from their end, it had to look like a giant was coming in, you know. Yeah, I got in there. Yeah, they almost doubled the number of beer cans on the ground. And I walked in there, I said, and one of them right away, oh, we're sorry. We got loud again. I said, stop. I don't want to hear anything from any one of you, and I want all 8 of you to pay close damn attention. You're going to put your campfire out. You guys are going to get in your tents, call it a night, and you're not going to say a word to each other. Don't even whisper to each other, because I'm going to turn around, I'm going to walk out of here. And I said, when I get my truck, I'm going to idle back to my campsite with all the windows open. Back in, shut her down. I'm going to sit outside my damn trailer till 3 o'clock in the morning. And I said, if I hear one of you guys over here belch, fart, giggle, whisper, you will see me one more time. And I will have our Forest Service law enforcement officer right next to me. One of the guys goes, is he going to come out this time of night? Pulled my cell phone out of my pocket and said, see here? He's the only hotkey I've got. I tap that, he'll be here within 15 minutes. I said, you don't want him here, because he's going to write each and every one of you a citation. And he'll stand here and supervise you tearing down your camp and getting off of Forest Service property. I said, so you want to see if he'll show up or not? I'm more than glad to tap that button and say, RJ, I need you. And he'll be right here. He works the graveyard. He'll be glad to come down here and do something for the night. Yeah, you could have heard a mouse fart the rest of that night. They shut right up, boy. They knew it. And they had paid for 3 nights in that campsite, and that was their first night. The second night, they were kind of noisy until about 9:30, and then the noise started dropping off, and by 10 o'clock, they were quiet. Third night, they were quiet by 9 o'clock. But oh my gosh. I don't mind. I like having a good get together, get all buzzed up, have a good old time, tell jokes, and carry on, and be loud. But you do that on somebody's private property at their fire pit. You don't do that in a public campground where people are trying to frickin' go to sleep. A lot of people in campgrounds, they have a campfire for an hour or so, and then they crash for the night because they're getting up with the sun to fix their camp breakfast and head out fishing, hiking, or just hanging out in camp, relaxing. So they want their evenings quiet. And they want to hear the loons and stargaze. They don't want to hear that drunken crap going on out in a campground. I don't know how grown adult people don't get it. And then they want to argue with you. Well, that's how we have fun. Well, you're the odd man out, aren't you? Because everybody else hates your guts. Yeah, you might be the life of this party, but boy, if you go over there, they're gonna have a burn at the steak party over there if they get their hands on you. Yeah, that was I wasn't happy. I got a full 3 hours of sleep that night. That's all I got was 3 hours of sleep. One of the guys the next day, when I told him, because of you guys, I only got 3 hours of sleep last night, so I'm not in a good mood today. And yeah, he understood. This old man wants to see. Oh, look at here. I gotta bring this person up. There she is. Hi, sweetie.
Hello. Hang on. I gotta get this fixed. I'm not using the talking in my room. I'm used to talking in my room.
Oh, you're in your room?
Yeah. They're out there watching a movie, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is cool that he's there to visit. How long is he there for?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, they ended later than we did, and they start later, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's neat. Oh.
Say hi to Sty. Come here. Say hi to Sty North.
Hello?
Hey. Good to see you, young
What's
man.
up, Sty?
That's my 14-year-old son. He'll be 15 in March.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, we hear a lot about you. Your mom adores you, man.
He said we hear a lot about you. Your mom adores you. I'll put that in your ear. Hook it around. Yeah. Now he can hear you.
Now he can hear me. Yeah. Your mom definitely adores you.
Fully in.
Okay.
Chase is like, hey, I'll show you how.
Chase is all about it. Go lay down.
All right. I'm in.
Okay, now I can hear you.
He's in. Yeah, I was just saying that your mom just adores you. We hear about you all the time from your mom.
Yeah.
She's so proud of you and misses you every day. Every time I talk with your mom, I'm missing my boy. Yeah.
He's doing the hockey thing in Maine.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. That is cool. Really I love it.
Yeah.
That's good. So you love hockey, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's all about
it's fun.
Sport.
Yeah. It's a fun sport. When I was a young man. Yeah, I played hockey. And I got so much back in the ice age when we had plenty of ice.
Running Water's his son.
Yeah, Running Water is my son. He's a smart aleck too. But,
Back in the
but yeah,
arcade.
back when I was playing in high school, yeah, coach loved me playing center, but I got in so much
Yeah.
trouble all the time. They said I was too mean and rough for the sport. That's not true. I don't
That's what
believe
it's all
that.
about.
Yeah. How can you be too mean or rough in that sport? I kept asking them. There's no way you can be too mean or too rough in that sport,
Yeah.
unless you're playing against a team of sissies. That might. But that devil, he told me, he says, guess what? You're demoted. You're now playing goalie. They put me in the cage. Now today, if he did this today, now your boy's gonna think of this and say, "Oh God, no, don't do that to us."
Mhm.
Our coach, he took. Have you seen a ball pitcher, an automatic ball pitcher, where you load the balls up in the pitcher and then turn it on, and it about every 30 seconds or so, it sends a fastball at you across the plate to hit.
Yeah, they got those at the batting cages.
Yeah, at all the batting cages. Yeah. He took one of those and modified it, and he could load it up with hockey pucks. And he'd make us goalies get in the net, and he'd shoot pucks at us.
Oh,
shoot. With a damn ball pitcher. And then he cranked that thing up so those pucks are flying at you about every 5 seconds. Right to the point.
It's kind of good training in my view. It kind of works out. Shots are fast.
Once he'd get you down, and he'd sit there and aim that devil at you, trying to knock a skate out from under you, And once he'd get you on the ice, then he'd just hammer you and push you all the way back into the net. Boom, boom, you're just getting hammered with pucks sliding into the net. And he'd be yelling at you, stick coverage, stick coverage, stick coverage. Well, you're getting just blasted in the chest and the thighs with pucks, and you're getting knocked back into the net. And then you get up and you're just dizzier than hell. And then he'd tell you, give me 6 laps around the rink and you can take a break. What the hell? Yeah. And he called me too mean for the game. I mean, yeah.
Wow.
But it was, when you're, goalie is, I had an old wire goalie mask, right? I had a puck get between the eye slots of that, and the puck was touching the bridge of my nose. This big tough boy from this other school come up and slapstick the puck right in my face, and it stuck right in that mask, and it was touching the bridge of my nose. And the coach said, I'm glad you didn't leave a big yellow spot on the ice in front of the goal. I said I was close to it, boy. If that would have made it any further through there, it would have shattered my nose. Oh my God. Man. Yeah. But I loved hockey. And then I was a troubled kid. So you stick with what you love. Don't get in trouble.
He's a good kid.
Yeah, I was a troubled kid, so they eventually kicked me out of sports. I got kicked off the football team. Then they took me off the hockey team. They said, "Yeah, he's a bad boy. He can't play no more." I just loved the sport. Football was the same way. I would take my attitude in hockey out to the field. Well, that football coach wanted none of that shit. You can't be clotheslining guys out here in the field like that. You're going to break their necks. It's just a game, coach.
It happens all the time in the NFL.
Yeah. And I always told my coach, I said, anything I do out in that field that puts me on the bench, I weighed that out, and I decided it was worth it.
Yep.
Yep. I'm gonna hurt this guy. They'll take me out of the game for a while, but I'm gonna hurt him. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I'm glad you got to meet him. I'll let you get back to your movie if you want to. It's up to you, but you can still hang out.
I'll hang out.
Yeah, it was great to meet you. Man, that's awesome. Hear so much about you. And, hey, scrapping together out there. Good to see you.
Yeah, Maine has to be a definite change from Alaska, and I asked him if he liked it. He says he does. He loves it there. So
I do.
Lots more to do.
It's really fun. Yeah, but it's just like a big heat wave there. I mean, it's not really that well to my dad. I mean, my dad doesn't like being there in the heat, but I mean, I'm used to it. It's fun for me as well.
Yeah,
sure.
I need sunscreen and all that because the sun's also there, and it murders, absolutely just murders
compared to Alaska. Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
Maine weather though.
Maine weather-wise, it's kind of unique up there. I used to haul freight all the way up into Maine, and I liked Maine. I always said if I wasn't living in Wisconsin or Montana, it'd be Maine. Yeah. You got nice big metropolitan areas you can get to within a reasonable amount of time. Everything you ever need's there. Or you can head north and get wild if you want. I like Maine.
He comes up to me. I was like, "You're so tan, like compared to me. I'm stuck here in Alaska. I'm all white. Look how dark he is."
Right. Yeah. Yep. Are you okay?
I know, right?
Yeah, you should have seen me early in the summer. Oh my God, I was nearly brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was almost turning into an Indian, and then my dad joked around, because he's like, your Indian sign is finally getting to you. And I'm like,
that's it.
And I go like,
that's from my.
Why are you bullying me like this?
His dad teases him a lot because he's French Canadian and got some Irish, and then he has Irish on my side and Italian, and then Cheyenne and Cherokee Indian. So it's kind of funny. His dad gives him stuff about it.
You got to be a little careful because any one of those might pop out, right?
I know, right?
Oh, don't give me any grief about the Indian thing, or my Irish is going to show. You're going to bring the Irish out in me. You keep going down that Indian trail.
Yeah. That's
love it. I'll tell you what. We all adore your mother. I mean, she's a sweetheart. She's so kind and so willing, and she's taking good care of this old boy on YouTube. I mean, you have to admit it, Sam. You've been there for me several times. I mean, and that's a lifelong thing. It sticks with me. I think about your mom all the time. How is she doing? Because during the summer, I'm only here on Wednesdays. I'm out at camp 6 days a week and all summer, and no internet. Bummer. But I live stream 5 nights a week in the winter from October till April. 5 nights a week I live stream. Because this is my family. The YouTube group here is my family. Yeah.
I tell Aiden about it all the time, how we all get on here and spend a lot of time together and stuff. So he knows how it goes.
It for some of us, it's what gets us through the day,
Exactly.
And fortunately, we have folks like your mother that shares her talent with us, and your latest song, that remake.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. I meant the comment. I absolutely loved it. It was very well done. Very.
I'm glad you liked it.
I'm still waiting for that CD that you finally get to make.
Yeah, we've got all the equipment. It's just the setting aside the time and getting the software learned and all that stuff. So
Right.
yeah.
I'm patient.
Soon.
You know, I can be patient.
Yep. Chase is loving having him here. It's funny.
I
That
bet.
jumps all over him.
Yeah. Chase
He's
is
got
like,
somebody to play with.
Whoa, everybody else here has gotten used to me.
It's true.
Yeah. Everybody else here thinks I'm in the way.
So he's obsessed with him. He follows him everywhere. It's funny.
Yeah. This Aiden guy, boy, I think I'll go home with him.
Yep. Yeah. He's like, put me on a plane. I'll go to Maine. I don't think his dad would like that.
Yeah. Oh, look at what I brought a souvenir home from Alaska.
Yeah, he'd probably kill me.
Yeah. Only problem.
He would. No.
Yeah. He's not about the pets. Hey, Kathy.
Yeah. Only problem, Dad, is that we got to feed it. My souvenir. Yeah.
Much love, Kathy. Good to see you, lady.
Okay, Kathy. Love you, girl. Thanks for all your comments.
Your live stream. It's good to see you, Sty. I'm glad you got to meet
it was great
Aiden.
seeing you. Yes. I miss you. I miss you. I'm gonna probably be wrapping it up early tonight anyway. So until next time, girl. Yeah. You take very good care, and you love every minute you can with that boy of yours.
Oh,
Aiden.
I will.
Aiden, it was an honor and a pleasure meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Hey, nice to meet you, man. I'll see you later.
You bet. Enjoy that hockey while you can.
I will.
Yeah, you bet.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. That's awesome, eh? Yeah. What in the hell are you driving through there, Running Water?
Under the bridge and coming across like this river here, the Ohio River.
Oh yeah.
Lexington,
Oh yeah.
they got the top of the bridge is all torn up, so we had to go on the underside with the trucks. Not that it's nine for us.
Huh. So on the right side, they've got the opposing traffic?
No, they got one lane of opposing traffic that's up on top.
Oh, really? They got a lane on top going the opposite direction, heading east, and you're on the bottom going. Okay.
Yeah,
I got you.
Bridge, if you remember, the bridge is where 71 and 75 split off when you're heading north.
Yeah. Now, I was going to say, isn't one deck all one direction, typically?
Yeah, right now,
Oh, hey, Jadzia asked a question. I got to play this. Hang tight there, Running Water. Don't go anywhere. This only takes about 1 minute. I gotta shout out my awesome members. Jadzia Dex, a great hiker. Yes, Jadzia, thank you for calling me on that. I didn't get to it before the stream started tonight. I was going to try to get in there, and there's actually a couple of members that got to come off and a couple new ones that got to go on, and you're one of them. Jadzia Dax, everybody. Hey, go over, check out Jadzia. Yes. Oh, there's Phil. There's everything spicy. Scott K. Hello. Hello. Mayberry. Yeah, you guys are popping in right here. I was talking about maybe wrapping it up early. I'm not gonna now. but yeah, Jadzia, you betcha you're gonna be in next week's. You're gonna be in next week's for sure. I'll give yours a couple extra seconds in the playback. Yeah. By the way, Running Water. Thanks for being an outdoor lover, but I'm going to get you your hoodie this fall, which is only another month away.
Well, I'm not worried about it.
And what size hoodie do you want, bud?
Oh, for a hoodie? Probably a 2X. So I can layer it.
Uh-huh. And what color? Black?
Yeah, black or dark gray.
Okay.
Pretty much all my wardrobe is blacks and grays because I can throw them all in at once, no separating.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's my laundry, too. I don't want to have to think about it. Just if it fits in the washing machine, it goes together. There he is. Hey, buddy.
What's up, people?
Oh, man. I haven't had a chance. I'm going to do it after the stream tonight. Watch that video you guys did. This one? Yeah. But you goofball, what in the hell are you going to do 34 packy chips again for?
I'm going to do more than 34 this time.
Well, yeah.
That was just plus. What I had a thumbnail for from the last time. No, right. we're gonna buy as many of those sons of bitches as we can. The record right now is 66.
Oh my god!
So I will be going for more than 66.
Wow, that volume. Oh,
but I literally think I could sit down and eat 66 regular tortilla chips. So
that's the way you got to think about it. Right, is 66 of them. That's a good sized bag.
Yep.
And I've sat and ate a whole bag of chips before with salsa. So
yep. So
I can't do it anymore, but I used to. So yeah, I get it.
You were talking last week. You sat down and ate a whole pizza, then a whole bag of chips, and then a whole thing of ice cream.
Shut up. I tried doing
you sound like a competitive eater.
I tried doing that again this last week. No, I made a pizza this afternoon, a frozen pizza. I only ate 2 pieces and I'm full. And I doubt I'll be eating any more tonight. But yeah, I just can't handle a lot of volume anymore. Except for my cranberry cashew chicken salad. I could still eat a pound of that. Now I was eating it on croissants. Now I got in the habit, I roll it up in a flour tortilla and eat it.
You actually had me looking for that. Was it Thursday or Friday last week at a local market by my work, seeing if someone had something similar to that because it sounds freaking yummy. Yeah, no one.
Yeah, you got to find a little deli somewhere where they home make stuff, and just tell them that you want a chicken cashew cranberry chicken salad for sandwiches. Would you make some for me? And a lot of times these little smaller delis will, for customer satisfaction, you bet.
Most of those places though where we frequent are those little deli places aren't American. I mean, there are a lot of
They're
them
not-
are. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're Americans, but they're not. You know,
Right.
they're used to making different types of ethnic food. So
Right. Yep. I get it. I get
Yeah.
it. Hey, Scott K, you and you'd have to ride the bunk because Crazy Ann wants jump seat with running water. The
Crazy Ann was jump seat with all of us. Just saying.
yeah, she'd love to jump in your seat, wouldn't she? That's yeah. Hey, John, good to see you. Adventures in the Heartland.
What's up, John? Mayberry, Scott, Kay, everyone. Hey, everyone. That is
Yeah.
hey too.
He's eating dinner. John's eating dinner. Nothing wrong with that. I can't believe it. Last week, did you hear any of the earlier part of the stream, Phil?
No, unfortunately, I didn't.
Oh.
I had you playing at times, but had you muted. So
Sure. The I had 5 videos I made throughout the week.
Mhm.
Took all the raw footage. I had them all in the single file on my hard drive. It's an external hard drive I use off my laptop, and had them all in a single file. I went through and edited and rendered all of them, all 5 of them. Finally got the final video. I even had the thumbnails made. Transferred them all to another folder that I used to upload to YouTube, right? On a hard drive that I bring home with me, plug into the desktop and upload it. I did something I never do. I did a cut and paste to a folder. I should have done a copy and paste. I did a cut and paste into the new folder. Then the next morning, I went in that new folder because I had just typed up all the titles and descriptions and tags, everything for those 5 videos. So I was going to save that document over into that folder. And when I went to paste that over into the folder, all the files were there, but I noticed as I highlighted them, it said 0 bytes of data. Every single one of my video files, 0 data. 0.
Damn.
Nothing. It's gone. So I thought, oh shit, I'll go back to the raw and I'll have to crunch. I'll have to spend the whole night, get that all redone. Oh no, I did a cut and paste. They're gone. It's all freaking gone. Gone. I spent 3 hours trying to recover it, and it pissed me off. So yesterday morning, I get up bright and early, and I end up making 2 videos to post this week instead of 6. I would have had 6 because I had one that I hadn't done yet. So, but because I hadn't done that one, I crammed these 2 in, saved them on a different hard drive, and managed to edit them here today and get them posted for Friday and Sunday. But
yeah, I'm lucky. I've never lost footage.
see, that for me, that's a total bummer because I got all my raw footage for the last 5.5 years. I mean, literally over 800 videos. I got all the raw footage for every one of them.
Well, I don't keep raw footage.
And the and I got the posted video also saved on a separate hard drive, the whole archives of the channel. If anything ever happened to the channel, I got it all 800 plus videos. I can repost them, sucker somewhere else, you know. Not these 5. Gone.
Damn.
I understood it when my old desktop, when that's all I was using, and that thing had a major crash. Remember that's when I got this new system. When that thing crashed, that's where I understood if I lost some shit on there, it wouldn't be surprising. But I managed to recover everything off of that one. But this is one time it's just not there. Yeah, I was in tears, man. Oh
bet.
my god. Uh, um, so that was really the biggest bummer of the whole week. Yeah, yeah.
And that mostly happened today, right?
Yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning, yeah.
Yeah,
All closed.
and so I was able to do 2 videos during the day yesterday, squeeze them in, and then the I didn't think I was going to be able to do them because 6 o'clock in the morning yesterday, Tuesday morning, pitter patter on the roof of my trailer or something. I come running out of my bunk, and I'm just in my boxer shorts. I didn't waste time with shoes, nothing, no pants, not just my boxers. And out I go because I got camp chairs all over outside, folding them up, getting them in the camp kitchen, button that thing up, run like hell for my information center, getting all the panels put up, and getting those chairs all put away, everything tarped in there, and got that zipped up. And just as I zipped that son of a bitch closed, so I got a shower on the way into the trailer. And so my day started out a real SOB. Half hour downpour, and then it quit. It didn't rain the rest of the day. By 10 o'clock, I'm sitting out at the picnic table doing my videos. Yeah. But that's
okay.
the way last week was. It was just everything last week was odd. Just odd. It wasn't a bad week. It was just odd.
Boxer briefs look like shorts, you know.
Yeah.
At least you're not running around out there nude. That might be an issue.
Yeah, thank God I wouldn't have.
Service may have a problem with that.
Yeah, they would. Yeah.
Unless you've got a beard down there, and then it would cover everything, and then no one would know the difference.
Yeah, they'd have to rewrite the lines to that song, Running Bear. Running bear, Sty in the bushes.
Did I just hear a snicker from up here?
Yeah, listen to that son of a bitch. Snicker, yeah. He's more like a baby Ruth. Yeah. Where's running water?
I like watching the traffic while he's doing this. I mean, I especially like driving at night, like he's doing right now. That is when I would prefer to drive if I'm going somewhere, as opposed to the daytime, because you know what, the mind doesn't get all confused with the additional scenery. All you got is lights in the road and the car in front of you.
That's, when I drove over the road, I liked my job because 90% of the hauling I did, I could run at night. So I'd run about, 6 to 8 in the evening, and I'd run until about 8 in the morning, 10 in the morning. And then I'd park and I'd crash and I'd sleep for 6 hours throughout most of the day, and head back out and drive all night. I love driving at night. You don't have half the traffic, and like you said, there's not a lot of this. If you're going somewhere where you don't care about the scenery, yeah, I'd rather drive at night, man. Hey, Matt J, good to see ya. I'm looking at your challenges and stuff, and now I had a couple from Massachusetts in the campground this weekend, and having a couple of beers at their campsite with them, and we're chatting away and talking about YouTube and the like, and they're going to jump on and sub, and they're saying, yeah, this is great, get to talk to you before we even see your channel, and blah blah blah, and we started talking about the live streams and that I have panels. Oh, that's neat. Maybe when we get home and get settled in and stuff, we'll get a hold of you. Maybe we'd be willing to come up on it. I said, that's cool. I'll bring you up. Well, I told him, I said, my channel's adult based, especially the live streams. All my videos are pretty much so family friendly, but live streams, it can get pretty risque at times. And I got weird characters. I said, there's this one, we call him Everything Spicy. Yeah. And I told him the crap you do, all the way from all of your hot challenges to eating balut and all that. Oh my God, that gal! I thought she was going to puke a couple times just describing things to her. So they're insistent they got to go over check your channel out too. I ran out of smoke, so I said I got to run down to my campsite, grab a pack of smokes. I'll be right back. So when I went down there, I grabbed my everything spicy hoodie and popped it on, and it was a cool evening, you know. And we're up there having beers, so it's cooler yet, you know. So
Sure.
I wore my everything spicy hoodie up, and she goes, "Is that who you're talking about?" I said, "Yeah, that's it. That's it." Yeah. I said, "You go become a member at his channel, and after 3 months, you get one of these hoodies, you know." She looked at her husband. He goes, "Oh shit, here we
Oh,
go.
shit.
She's going to be
There you go.
spending money again." I said, "And you can do that at my channel too. You know, you can become a member, and if you're an outdoor lover for 3 months, you get a hoodie. You know." Hey, Frontier Survival, great to see you.
It's funny because I was explaining the whole thing to my wife the other day because, you know, she's gotten a little more involved in what I do. And I kind of
Oh,
explained to her the whole, like the Carolina Reaper and the Elite Chili Head member. I said, the first 3 months, I said, if someone sticks around 3 months in those levels, I said, I don't make a dime. After
right.
YouTube takes their percentage and the
And
government
you
takes their
pay for that
percentage, and
hoodie?
I pay and ship you a hoodie, I
Yep.
didn't make a dime
It's a
for those 3
wash.
months.
It's a wash.
I'm hoping that you
You'll
stick
stay for
around.
4.
Right.
You'll stay for 4,
Yeah, I'm
5,
hoping that
6,
once you get the
7.
hoodie, you're like, fuck this, I'm out of here. No, I'm hoping you stick around. I'm hoping after
Yeah.
3 months of
Take
being a
take
member that you're going to stick around.
take me as an example. Phil's been there for me so much. And he's done it for me too. We've been members on our top tiers right from
Yeah.
the get-go, and we've stayed there. And and you know, you can only do that for so many people. The people that really
Right.
are, you know, they're there for you. And I don't fault anybody that takes the lower tiers, you know. But if you're in that top tier, try not to rip off the creator, because that's Phil's right. You know, my hoodies, I've had a couple of folks, they were remembered just enough to get the hoodie,
Ah,
and then they're gone. And it's like, that was a wash. You
yeah.
know, it was a wash. It was nice that they were there. At
Yeah.
least they paid for their hoodie, you know.
Yep.
But yeah, it'd be nice if you go at least one extra month so I can make a couple of dollars off
Yeah.
of it, you know, because you're only making what, maybe $18 for one extra month, you know, after YouTube
Right.
dips into it. Yeah, it's not much. But then I've had some folks that they'll start at the second tier to get the t-shirt, and then the minute they got their t-shirt, they go to the top tier until they get the hoodie, and then they go to be a hiker,
See, I've
and
never
they
had
stayed a hiker for the longest time. Well, then it's all profit, you know, that hiker level is all profit for me, but it's more reasonable for them. They just wanted to make sure they got the t-shirt and the hoodie, you know. I'm cool with that. That's cool. Yeah, I'm good with that.
No, memberships are just a great way to support, and for most people, it's easy because, again, if you're one of those, especially even if you're at the higher tier, I mean, $20 a month. I mean, how many things do you do for $20 a month? And it's just, you know,
that's
it's
it. And if people are anything like I am, is once I get into something that I set up as a reoccurring,
right. Don't even think
it's
about
just it just becomes part of my budget, and I
it.
don't
Right.
even think about it. In fact, I don't think about it to the point where the few things that I can't auto pay, the one thing that you should never forget is to pay your fucking rent.
Well, there you go.
I realized this afternoon before our office closed here, I haven't paid my damn rent. And if I don't pay it by 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, they charge me an extra $50.
Screw
So
them.
yeah, I tell you what, I'll be down there before they even show up to work tomorrow with that rent envelope.
Oh, they're going to be avoiding you so that they can be running away from you. No, don't give me the check yet. Don't give me the check. I want
no,
that.
you ain't getting your extra $50, and I'm going to be yelling at their door. Yep, I'm here to pay my rent. I'll make sure. Make sure everybody in our apartment building on the first floor knows Sty's down there paying his rent.
They got the little mail flap, tape.
We do have one of those.
Stick your rent, so you can't stick your rent in there. It's like, fucker, I'm trying to stick the rent in there. Nope, it's all tape shut. Nope.
Yeah, and they got one of those. They got one of those dust seal things stuck under their door, so you can't slide it under the door. Yeah. And a big sign that says "Do not tape things to the door." Yeah, you fuckers. They want my $50.
Exactly.
No, you don't. Rotten little buggers. Yeah, I was telling Running Water. I actually I've been out there now for over 90 days in camp. Been there 3 months solid. Seems like it's only been about a month and a half. I only have a month and a half left. Well, actually less. 5 weeks left of hosting. And I realized this first year next year will be so much easier in a sense because I'm kind of stumbling over a lot of shit because I brought everything to camp. I brought everything. If I thought I would probably want that and use it, I brought it.
Sure.
Well, so I'm stumbling over shit. My trailer is so cluttered and packed full of shit. And I was looking at it this morning before I headed home here, and I'm like, you know what? Over half of this shit I haven't even touched in 3 months. So I'm going to pack most of that crap up, haul it back home, put it in its proper place. I've got at least 3 months worth of food in my trailer and another month's worth of food out my camp kitchen. I'm hauling all that frickin' food except a week's worth back home. And when I come on Wednesdays, I'll take a week's worth of food back with me. I'm done with this bring it all and have it there kind of bullshit. I could be so comfortable if I wouldn't have brought all that shit
But
with
we do
me.
that when we're camping because you never know what you might decide that you want to do or what you might. Just because this time you didn't decide to make flapjacks out on the griddle doesn't mean that next season
Yeah,
you don't want,
yeah.
So you gotta bring that stuff.
No. I got it figured out. Anything I might run into that I'd want would be something I could pick up on Wednesday.
Next week, right?
Yeah. So I'm looking at this shit going, well, no, I shouldn't pack that away because, I probably will want that. And then I realized, but if I do, I can say, put that on my list to bring back on Wednesday. Especially things that are consumables that'll get used up.
Right.
Why have something that's a consumable sitting there for 3 months, waiting for you to get in the mood to eat it? I mean, it's no. So yeah, and same with a lot of the gear I brought. I've got 3 tents up in the top of my camper. 3 tents up there. I haven't set one of them up, but I've moved all 3 of them since I've been there. Get that sumbitch out of my way. And yeah, I mean, if I pull those tents out of there, a ton of shit from down below where I stay could be up there. Out of the way. And I would actually have walking space inside my trailer.
But with the tents, you're thinking about friends. You're thinking about other people or a situation where someone else might need a tent. And you're prepared. You're like a Boy Scout.
And now I've realized I'm old, cynical, and don't give a shit. If you didn't bring a damn tent, I've got a tarp in the box of the pickup truck. Because I'm not bringing my tents for you to camp. Bring your own stuff with you.
One of those storms come through and a poor family with kids has their tent ripped up out of the ground and tossed up into the trees. Sty's got one in his adventure trailer that he's going to
No, because that's after the fact. That's after the fact, and I'll tell them you're only 40 minutes from Walmart. You can go, man. They got great tents. Hey, that's something I didn't tell anybody. Guess what I'm getting on Friday?
Walmart.
No, no, I don't. Freaking Walmart at the campground.
the
That's
tree?
pretty
No.
cool. We're setting up camp in the Walmart parking lot now.
There you go.
I've got. I counted the camping sites, and yeah, I've got about 186 camping sites. They're only the size of a vehicle, but there's a lot of them.
There you
Yeah. No, I had a guy come and visit me 2 days ago, and at first I thought he was full of shit. And he says, "I'm going to be your firewood vendor for your campsite, for your campground." I go, "You're going to be a what?"
What?
He goes, "I'm going to be your firewood vendor." I said, "I don't get it." And he went to tell me about what's going on. And I got a text message while he's talking. And I pulled that up. I wasn't paying attention to this guy. I thought, you can't sell firewood in the national forest, you son of a bitch. You ain't coming in here to make a profit off of the federal government. And I pulled that text up. And it's my boss, my supervisor, telling me, there's a guy coming to talk to you. He's got a federal Forest Service vendor's permit. And he's going to be allowed to sell firewood in our campgrounds. And he's picking certain campgrounds that he wants to service. So you decide, use your discretion where you want him to set up, how you want him to do things, blah, blah, blah. And he says, good luck and just keep me posted about what's going on. Oh, shit. He can do it. He's got a permit, and blah, blah, blah. So I talked to the guy and I showed him where I'd want him to set up, and he's putting a rack in that'll hold 20 of these really good size. He showed me his bundles. They're a little bigger than typical. They'll hold about 12, 14 good size pieces of firewood for $6 a bundle. Well, that's what they are locally. They're $6 a bundle. I thought he'd have a write-up for convenience right there in the campground. Right. But no, he said $6 a bundle. And it's a metal rack that he'll fill with 20 bundles. It's got a little lean-to kind of tarp roof that goes over it. And it's got a post that's chained to that big metal rack that's a self-serve pay can. You drop your money in, take a bundle, you know. And I said, okay, what do you want from me? Right? Well, he says, if you don't mind, could you kind of encourage your campers to buy my wood? I said, are you crazy? With only 20 frickin' bundles, I'm going to have to be standing up there with my bigger hiking stick, beating them sons of bitches away from there, saying, one bundle of campsite. I said, because they'll wipe that son of a bitch out almost every night. I guarantee you. I had one guy went to town. He was stayed in the campsite for 5 days. He went to town, and he comes back. And he's driving an SUV, and they had a tent, him and his wife. When they went to town, I noticed the picnic tables just covered with shit and their tents up and everything. He went to town. No wonder they unloaded everything out of their damn car. He comes back. He's got 12 of those bundles of firewood in that little SUV. He bought a dozen. Well, this guy's 20 bundle rack, that's more than half. One camper wiped it out. And I told him, I said, so that's all you want from me is to encourage campers to buy your firewood? I said, that's almost too good to be true. He said, well, and to the best you can, he says, I don't expect you to keep an eye on it, but he says, just try to stay aware if you see somebody ripping me off, if they're just grabbing bundles and running, not paying. I said, that's cool. I said, I said, the easiest way to take care of that, because they'll have to park their vehicle right in this one spot and your rack will be here. I said, see that tree over there? About 12 feet up in the tree, we'll put a trail cam and it'll snap pictures of anybody getting firewood. And it'll get their license plate off their vehicle.
There you go.
And if we don't see them put money in the can, if you had 10 bundles disappear and only 2 were paid for, We go back and take a look at, pull the footage off the trail cam. He says, I've got the trail cam. He says, actually, I've got about a dozen trail cams. And he says, every one of my firewood stations and all the campgrounds will have one of those set up. Thank you. I said, that's cool. Okay. He says, then all you have to do is recommend that they buy my wood. And I said, that sounds good. I said, I'm glad you're doing that because I'm tired of telling people where they can go get firewood. And he goes, oh, and by the way, for doing that for me, he says, I'll keep you in firewood all season.
Right. Oh, shit.
I said, so I can go up there and pull a bundle off your rack? He says, no. He says, about how much wood do you burn a week? I said, well, maybe 6 or 8 bundles. I said, but I buy my wood in bulk, an awful lot of it. I half fill my pickup truck with it, then haul it out there. He goes, 8 bundles a week then. I'll give you 8 bundles a week for helping me out. No cost.
There ain't no brainer.
No. So I'm going to have several campfires next season.
Right?
And for the rest of this season. I mean, yeah. So I'm excited.
Look out for that truck.
Yeah, look out for that truck.
Right? Speed up a little there, Running Water. Damn, the guy's passing you.
Yeah, look, everybody
flashing your lights at him. He could have gotten over, 2 minutes ago.
Look at that. Everybody's blowing Running
what are you
Water's
doing?
doors
Running,
off.
are you sleeping?
Hey, I'm only going 10 over the speed limit.
Well, then obviously that guy's doing like 15 over the speed limit. Damn. There you go. Dude, you're just getting past. You're impeding traffic, Running Water. You're impeding traffic. They're all having to pass you.
That's a
Well, now you see, Bill, these newer trucks, we got the radar system on our bumpers and stuff, so we can see how fast the vehicle is in front of us. For adaptive,
I'll be right back.
That guy that's in front of me, according to the low radar deal, he's going 80 miles per hour. Yeah, 65.
Wow. Well, again, you're impeding traffic. I'm watching the screen, and and from my perspective, you're impeding traffic. So.
This is the part where you ask if I care.
Well, that's my thing. I always tell the cop, if I get pulled over for speeding, it's like, what do you want me to impede traffic? I mean, I just going with the flow, right?
Right.
But sir, you were leading the flow. That's not my fault. Well, definitely no one's slowing you down. So. So you got a big load on your flatbed, do you?
Yeah. I-beams.
Steel?
Yeah, steel I-beams.
Oh, I-beams. Holy shit.
Yeah, and they're going up to, Middlebury, Indiana. Going up to all those, RV and camper manufacturing places up there.
Okay.
Might help that in the Goshen area.
Gotcha. I like that. I could sit and watch this for hours and just watch that at nighttime. During the daytime, I'm not interested. During the daytime, nope, not interested. What's that crazy? And there's train thing in Norway, and it's very cool in the wintertime because you can watch this train on the tracks, and it's the daytime, but you can watch this train on the tracks in Norway going through all this snow and all through all these tunnels and whatnot. It's pretty cool.
Running Water. You can do this anytime on the stream. People seem to like that as an option to watch while they're over here.
I've had people tell me, I need to make more videos of going down the road. It's like, well, I make the videos when I'm going through, like mountains and stuff, nice scenery. But no one wants to watch me going across Nebraska.
Oh yeah, right. Crazy Ann and I mean, you had several tonight. They just love watching that shit, just going down the damn road.
Well, there are channels that have 100,000, 200,000 plus subscribers. This is all you watch the
That's
entire
all.
time.
Yeah, and I mean, well, look at some of these channels where they were videoing them sleeping, and they've got 1,000 viewers watching them sleep.
Right.
And it's like, what the hell kind of crap is that? And I'd sit there and I'd watch and I'd watch, and all it did was put me to sleep. I mean, and I think that's what happens is people go to their channel and they're watching them sleeping, and then they nod off on the couch, and that person gets all that freaking watch time while that person's sleeping.
Yeah, I'm trying to be like Frogger and see if I can get a deer or a frog or something to jump out in front of his truck.
Yeah. Beep, 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 beep.
Oh, look
Beep,
at
beep, beep.
Oh, he's gonna pass. Are you gonna
Oh
pass
my
someone? Are
God.
you passing someone? Oh my God. Was he asleep?
Oh my God. It must be another trucking firm that he just wants to show off or piss off to,
It's a great truck.
What the hell, dude? Speed up. God, you're so slow.
You know, one thing I've seen a lot of this year on at camp is a lot of doubles coming in.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Guys pulling that big ass travel trailer and a big ass boat behind the travel trailer. There are a lot of doubles coming in this year. And they're a pain in the butt. They're a pain in the butt because the only thing they can do
Right back.
is to drop their boat, get their unit into their campsite, then go back and get their damn boat. And I have to stop them because they want to drop their boat right in the middle of the damn street, right in the middle of the road in the campground. Then they're back their unit in, and I tell them, no, you cannot be blocking the travel portion of the road with your damn boat while you're doing that. And I make them go back out, turn around, and drop their boat out by our pay station where there's some space. And they go, yeah, but that's, geez, that's like 3 city blocks from here. I want to keep an eye on it. Too damn bad. Make your wife stay with the boat then. But I did see one goofball. Yeah. He's a charter member of Morons R Us, trying to back up a double. Yeah. Double jackknife. Yeah, that looked really good. Well, his wife's yelling at him, "You're stupid. You can't do that." And I get to stand back, watch, and go, that's funny.
Well, it's real scary out here seeing them out on the road, because a lot of the states that allow that double pulling, they're not requiring any sort of combination, endorsement on their license. So, they don't know what they're doing. You see these guys out there, they got this big, gooseneck camper.
Yep.
And then they got like this little 14-footer single axle behind it, no stabilizer bar, and that back one just whipping back and forth.
Yeah, back there whipping around. Yep. And that's it. Is a lot of these guys when they're pulling doubles, if they're pulling a boat behind a big trailer, they can't even see that damn boat behind them. So they don't know.
It's about one wheel half the time. It's tipping.
Well, that, and they could be running down the damn highway on a tireless rim because they blew a tire 30, 40 miles behind, and they're starting to wonder, what the hell's all that smoke and shit I see way back there? And they pull in somewhere and they walk back and they go, holy jeez. Yeah, because they can't see it. They just keep going. Now, Rebecca Felter's asking if you do live streams of you just driving like that. And he doesn't, but as she said, if you did, she'd be watching them for sure. So, and that's it. Really running water. If you wanted, you could. You got a night like this where you've got fair connectivity, and you could stream. You could stream like this and just talk. You don't even have to have where you can read the chat. Just talk about where you're at, what's coming up. I've watched guys there's this one guy, all he does is he travels with this camper trailer around the country. He takes, like he did Route 660 or 66 last year, and he did that whole freaking route as a live stream. Segments, of course, different live streams. But he did that whole route as a live stream, and he never did get to read the chat until after the fact because he couldn't see it. And but he'd talk while he's going down Route 66, and that's all he did. And that bugger, I'd go over there and watch him, and he'd have 300-400 viewers watching him just driving down Route 66. You know,
I can't imagine anybody that could talk that much for that long.
No, you don't know anybody like that. Yeah, I if I can think of anybody, I'll let you know.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, I had a gal in camp last week. Believe it or not, she could out-talk me. Oh yeah.
Oh no way.
Yeah. I thought she was a young gal in her late 20s, maybe 30 years old, and she said she was a Yale graduate. Right? Well, just listening to her, oh yeah, deep thinker. Yeah, way up here. You're just like bring it down to common language kind of person. We got together. We talked. First time we talked for about an hour. I was just driving through checking campsites. And she asked me a couple of questions about the campground, and we ended up chatting for about an hour. Well, then she said, "I'll stop down at your campsite. I'd like to talk to you about some things and stuff." I said, "Yeah, sure. You're welcome. Stop by if you want to chat." Oh shit! I shouldn't have said that. 4 hours, man. She come down there, and she yacked for 4 hours. And I wish the hell she was willing to go on camera, because that's one of my videos I lost. Is I did a little interview with her, and I did a video, and I lost it. Damn it. And lost the raw footage. Damn it. But this gal, she sprung it on me that she was 41 years old. No way. Looking at her, no, there's no way she was 41 years old. But she swore up now she's 41. She's an author. She's writing her third book. And that's why she was there at campground. She says, I usually write starting at sunset, and I'll write straight through the night, a lot of times right until the sun comes up. And she said, and then I sleep for half the morning and then go right back at it that evening. And I thought, oh, yeah. So I've listened to her for 4 freaking hours. And she said, it shocked me. It totally shocked me because she goes, Sty, you are so patient and you are such a listener. You haven't said a word for at least an hour, hour and a half. I was speechless because of what she just said.
I thought you woke up.
I realized, no shit, I haven't said anything. I felt embarrassed, ashamed, ruining my reputation. I mean, who is this woman? Was she sent out here on purpose to see if she could get me to shut up for, more than 10 minutes? Hour and a half, I didn't say a fucking thing. I didn't even say, yep, not, nothing. She said, you've been silent for an hour and a half. So I had to fake it, I wanted to take in everything you had to say. I didn't want to miss a thing. And it's nice to be on the receiving end of a storyteller.
And that's exactly what I'm doing here, taking in everything you say.
Yeah, but you use it against me later.
Well, just because you say it again and again and again and again and again. Yeah.
When have I ever said anything again and again? I just, I'm trying to fill space, and because that would take you. Yeah.
It was only going through my mind earlier when you said, "Were you in here earlier, Phil?" I'm like, "No." It's like, let me tell you about what was going on in here earlier. I'm thinking the poor people that have been here since you started had to hear, because I wasn't here, had to hear what you had talked about in the first 2 hours in the last hour again.
See, that's the thing. You come into my stream late. You come into my stream late just so that you can drill in. See, he repeats
I just want
himself.
the highlights.
And you're putting the rest of the audience through it all a second time. I watch my audience count drop off.
You're
and
putting them through it a second time, not me.
And they figure we'll give him enough time to fill in, and then we'll come back. And then my count always goes up right at the end because they're back because they know I'm done filling you in.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, yeah, it don't take no Yale graduate to figure that shit out.
No.
I did appreciate the fact though that she insisted. She says, Sty, you're just because after that first visit, that night she went on my channel and watched some of my old Sty times and some of those shows from last winter, and she said, you're just an old philosopher. She said, you didn't need to go to Berkeley or Yale or any Ivy League college to become a philosopher. You just paid attention to life. I said, and it's been my curse. It's been my curse. Yeah, I've seen too much. And when I talk about it, I got guys like Phil that are saying, he's repeating himself. I said, I'm not a philosopher. I got fucking Alzheimer's, I think, Phil's trying to convince me I got Alzheimer's.
You've got a good memory, except for the point where it comes about with whether you've told the story recently or not. That's all. I was thinking about it today. I'm thinking about you. Okay. So I'm thinking about how my week was and how, this happened and that happened. But I don't think about always bringing it up. And I'm thinking, well, maybe I should bring that stuff. I should think about, what I did on, Saturday, what I did on Sunday, and how things were interesting. I mean, I was right behind a car accident on Saturday. I mean, it had happened literally. I was literally.
So you got to see it.
It happened right in front of me. Had I not been paying attention to what was going on, looking at a phone, looking off into space or anything else, I could have rear-ended the guy in front of me. They hit the guy, that went into the intersection, So I always think about, and I don't always remember this. I mean, I remember it, but I don't remember it necessarily when I'm live. I mean, you come up and remember all of this stuff, and you have a fantastic memory for your age. I'm sorry.
Oh, fuck off. For your age. Listen to Running Water laugh. That's some bitch.
Well, now you see, Phil, something that I've learned, because I do writing and consulting with, writers on different projects, and a good tool for remembering your stories is to repeat them.
Right.
Keep telling them, and you won't forget them.
Right. Well, and Phil and I had
that here.
Well, Phil and I had talked about that in the past about some of the stories and how do you recall them? And Phil's one of his concerns is, and how do you tell them? Where people you're going to keep their interest. It might seem very interesting to you, but you tell it, and all you're telling is the facts of the story, and you realize, that sounded pretty dull. But it was pretty exciting, but it sounded kind of dull. And I talked with this gal about that issue, her being an author. And I told her, I said, my theory on it is you have something to say, something to talk about, an event, whatever, something you saw or experienced. And if you just tell it for what it was, most people will go, oh, that was interesting, my ass, Yeah, because we typically tell things in black and white. This is just what it is. In black and white. So pull out a palette of color and add some color to that story around all the black and white. Doesn't make you a liar. Doesn't make you a fabricator. Doesn't and it doesn't distort the story. You don't want to eliminate the truth behind the story. But you add color to keep people's interest in the story, and then all of a sudden the story comes to life for them, and they can put themselves into that position just by the way you give them the front story, a little bit of backstory, a little bit of where it's going, and just lead them down that story instead of just telling it.
So Sty,
Well, yeah, some
And
of the
that's
worst storytellers are the ones where every story they tell it ends with, well, you had to been there. It's like, well, if you had to tell someone that they had to been there to appreciate the story, you didn't tell it very well.
that's yeah, right.
so Sty, I've been accused of having a man crush on you.
You have by who?
Other people in the community, because my favorite beer, my favorite alcohol beverage, make me big for a minute.
Like, yeah, okay. Let me grab the mouse. There we go. Backwoods bastard.
Has you on the cover.
I'm gonna sue him.
I was told that the other night. I was like, damn it, I never thought of that, but now I look at that because
just can't.
I wonder if that's a thing. I don't know. Mental.
You just can't do without me. You got to have me on your beer too. My Forest Service supervisor did them damn pictures of us hosts this year and put us up on our payment boards entering the campgrounds. And there's my picture, and it says, it says right on there, welcome to East Twin Lake Campground. Your host is Sty, located at Site 6. Okay. So they put one up at Beaver Lake Campground too, where I don't stay. Now it's gotten to the point. I'll go up to Beaver Lake. I haven't met any of those campers up there. I go up there and I go through and I'm doing reservations, updating them, and I'll have campers from their campsite yell, "Hi, Sty! Hi! Hey, you're the host. That's cool. Hi, Sty!" And it's like, what the fuck? It's that goddamn picture on that file. You come into the campground, you look at that board, and what's right smack in the middle? My mug. And yeah, there ain't many like me out there. So when they see me, they're yelling across campsites, "Sty's here! I seen him over there. Yeah, tell him that there's no ass wiping that crapper over there."
We need some Sty 2.0 stickers out there.
That's it. People want to write graffiti in the bathrooms. I should put Sty 2.0 stickers
right
in the bathroom.
Right?
Yeah, right over the shitter, well, one on the wall behind the shitter, one on the door, so that when you're sitting on it, you see it. That way, and when you're standing there peeing, you see it. That way, I get both the men and the women catching me,
So I'm watching.
Sty's keeping an eye on you.
Exactly.
I didn't notice. I didn't say Sty's watching your ass. Yeah, no, you don't want to put that in the public.
Maybe you do. I don't know. What's up, Raven?
Nope. Hey, Raven's back.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't. I this whole hosting thing has turned out to be pretty interesting.
That's cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad it hasn't turned into a job where you dislike it. That's good.
Yeah. There's only been a couple of incidents that I didn't care for, that I didn't like, dealing with a few drunks and things like that. But other than that, it's been great.
Alone, okay?
Huh?
Leave my people alone.
I'll tell you what, if those 8 that were out on campsite 10 were your people, I'm going to come burn your house down.
Hey.
Sons of bitches. 3 times I had to go up there campsite. Third time I told them, you're going to see me one more time if I even hear one of you fart out here. I said, and I won't be alone. I'll have my law enforcement officer right there with me, and you're all getting cited, every one of you individually.
Wow.
And he's going to stand here until you pack your fucking camp up and get the hell out of my campground.
Oh, shit.
They were so fucking loud. This is 1:30 in the morning. I'm telling them that.
Wow.
And I've got campers coming to my trailer at 1:30 in the morning, knocking on the door and saying, hey, can you shut them guys up out there? Now, they're in a remote walk-in site that's quite a ways away from the main campground, and I got people from both ends of that campground, furthest away from that site, knocking on my door at 11:30 the second time I went and warned them that, hey, man, we can't sleep, man. It's 11:30, and those guys are just screaming, yelling over there. Oh, shit, here we go again. Went out there, shut them all up, got back to camp. They were quiet for about an hour or so, and I fell asleep. And I'm wearing my CPAP machine and hearing that hiss. And sound asleep. All of a sudden, boom, boom, boom on my trailer. Here's one of the first 2 that were there complaining at 11:30, and he says, they're still doing it. And I could hear them. Once I opened the trailer door, I could hear them guys. And I go, oh, boy, I'm going to have to, I got to do something now. And he says, well, it is 1:30. I looked at my watch, 20 after 1. I said, oh, fuck. Wow. You guys. Last time I was out there was 11:30. Here it is, 1:30, and you're still going at it. I went out there, and I told them, if I hear one of you fart, I said, I'll be right back in here. And I wouldn't let them talk. Oh, we're sorry. I said, stop, all of you. All 8 of you, pay attention to me and don't say a frickin' word. You're all in a heap of shit. Every one of you. I don't want to hear your voices, period. If I hear anything from you guys before 6 a.m. in the morning, I said, and I'm going back to my campsite. And I'm going to be sitting outside my trailer in a camp chair, reclined, till 3 a.m. That way, when I go to bed, I'll get 3 fucking hours of sleep because of you guys. I said, so don't let me hear you. I'll be back here with law enforcement in a flash. Yeah. Yeah, hey, King Bluto, it's good to see ya. But it's you. I got a video going up Sunday, Phil. Make sure to catch that one. Watch it.
Okay.
I had someone hide 3 gas cylinders under the ashes of a fire pit. And my next camper that came in started their fire in the fire pit. We're standing out there chatting, and one of them exploded. And I mean, it looked like a little nuclear bomb went off. I mean, it had a column of smoke, and you could see the dust kicking out from the fire pit, and it had a mushroom cloud at the top. And the second one, when it went off, there were flames about 3 feet outside of the fire pit, spinning around the fire pit because it burned a hole through the side of it. It was spinning in there.
Wow.
And
what's wrong with people?
The third one, I saw it in there, and I didn't realize that one had started to melt. And I reached in, grabbed it, burned my pointing finger, grabbed it, and I'm like, whoa, shit, and pitched it out in the ground. But I had the 2 campers behind their camper. Told them, you get the hell behind that camper till I know that fire pit's safe. What a damn fool. After I threw that out on the grass and let it cool off, I picked it up, looked at it, it was all bulged out, ready to blow. I could have taken my fingers right off. I could have taken my fingers, and the flash burns from it would have been a bitch.
Oh, yeah.
They were butane containers.
Yeah.
And they were full. All 3 of them were full of fuel, and 2 of them went off. But that was a pretty exciting moment out at camp.
I mean, can't you go back on the people that you knew were in the camp?
We got them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Poor dumb bastards. They filled out their payment envelope and they put their vehicle make, model year, and license number down. I give it to our LEO, our law enforcement officer for the Forest Service. They run the check on them, got their name, address, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
He sent them a really hefty citation. And plus, they're banned from using any Forest Service sites for the rest of the season.
Could be more than a citation.
And, well, that's all he can do. So he turned it over then to our district attorney's office for the county. District attorney's going after him for reckless endangerment.
Well, yeah, you could have killed somebody.
Yeah. Damn right.
Yeah, had that not blown straight up or whatever it had done, you could have killed somebody. That's
well, actually, the couple, it's a senior couple, older couple. She had just gone into their camper and the door faced the fire pit. And she heard something hissing in the fire pit, so she slammed the door behind her and it went off. It shot flames out about 7 feet.
And you got this on video?
No, with the actual explosions we didn't have on video. But the if she would have been, let's say, adding a piece of firewood to that fire,
sure,
or cooking over it, the flash burns. She doesn't wear glasses. She would have lost her sight. She would have been permanently blinded from that, and her skin would have been torched, and her clothes probably would have ignited. I was so freaking distraught. I didn't do a video on it until yesterday because the first 2 days I was still walking around the campground and campers are hearing me. They cocksucker sons of bitches. I catch them fuckers. I will break their fucking hands. Stick that in my fire pits and try to hurt one of my campers. I got too emotional. I
don't think they were trying to hurt anybody. I think they thought it would be funny.
Yeah, that they thought, we'll prank,
Exactly. But you know what? That's what you don't think.
But my biggest concern over it is okay. I had inspected that pit with a rake down about 2 inches, and it was clean. These folks come in and they looked at the pit and they said, looks great. And they set up their campfire, got it going. These things were buried underneath the ashes below 2 inches so that they were hoping nobody would see them down in there. Okay, so that gives their act intent, right?
Right.
They intentionally expected those to blow up with somebody there having a fire. Right. Can you imagine a family, husband and wife with a few kids sitting around the campfire and having that son of a bitch blow up with? So
that's what people
even if all they thought was, it's going to be a prank, I don't care. Yeah. Just the fact they had the intent of even scaring somebody with something like that, they need their asses just kicked for them, because that's insanity to do that. And that poor gal, I mean, she was really distraught. She was scared for her husband, when I made him go around the back of their camper, and once they got around the corner, the second one went off and it was spinning and they're throwing flames out all the way around that fire pit, and I'm over it. Flames are swiping past my pant legs, and I got my walking stick underneath it and flung that thing out of the fire pit. And the third one, that's when I saw that it hadn't blown and it was sitting there in the ashes right next to the coals, and I reached in, grabbed it, threw it. And once I threw it, I go, thank God it didn't go off in my hand. Right. But I was more concerned about those two. But when I told them, I said, yeah, it's all clear, after I had really poked around that fire pit, they came around the corner. That poor gal was in tears. She was so shook up about how bad she could have been hurt. Right. And I gave them free camping coupons. They come back at no cost. And they said, we're coming back here. And I said, I wouldn't. I said, not with something like that. I and I'm apologizing to them, telling them that I feel I lacked because I didn't inspect your fire pit well enough. And they said, no, you did. You inspected it, but not to the bottom until you hit hard ground.
But that's one in 1,000,
but
right?
I will from now on. And since then, since Friday evening, every camper leaves, I'm over there with my rake, and I go down till I hit hard bottom of that fire pit, turn it completely over. I shouldn't have to do that.
No, you shouldn't. But yeah.
But this incident, now the rest of my life, I'll never trust the fire pit ever again.
1 in a million, some dumbass has to do something stupid, and now you feel obligated because you're running the place that you got to stick a rod down in the thing, make sure.
Yeah.
And heaven forbid they put something different. Someone stupid put something different down there.
Yeah. Well, and that's is it could be an aerosol can. It can be a insect repellent can.
Sure.
It
Can't
can be
in there either.
Anything, It could be I keep my fire pits in the campground cleaned out. All of my fire pits in both campgrounds. Yeah, he's passing again.
He went from impeding traffic to just being a speed demon now. What the hell?
The thing is
I mean, come on, if you're gonna pass him already. God damn, you're so slow.
Mm-hmm. On those fire pits, one thing that's gone through my mind since this is, I will always have that rake that I use to inspect them and a shovel with. And what I'm afraid to run into is some moron stick one of those green propane cylinders down into the deep ashes. But that's kind of hard to do at my campground because they typically only clean out the fire pits the end of September.
Seasonally, right.
And then the next spring they're empty, and then they fill up, and the end of the season clean them out, Well, I've already cleaned out every fire pit in both my campgrounds. I did that 2 weeks ago. Cleaned them all out right down to hard ground. So because if you get too much of an ash bed in there, you don't know what the hell's all down in those ashes. So, but if you got a big ash bed, somebody could easily hide one of those green propane cylinders you use for Coleman stoves and Coleman lanterns and stuff. Hide one of them in there. That would kill somebody. That one of those goes off, it would kill somebody. And I noticed that Harry saying, shouldn't it be a federal crime since it was on federal public land? Well, that's up to that's really going to be up to the DA to what they charge them with. They could end up getting charged by the feds, but if the feds feel the locals hit them hard enough, they'll just leave it go with that, Gary, Two Sellers, good to see you. But I wouldn't wish anybody getting hurt anyway at any campground. I mean, I'm panicky about dead limbs and trees and shit. And my supervisor come out there, caught me one day, the anchor for my boat, and I'm out there, it's got a 25-foot rope on it, and I'm swinging it. He just as he's pulling up, and I got it over this dead limb in this big birch. And I walked over and I tied a loop in it, put it over the trailer hitch of the Forest Service truck. And he pulls up, he goes, "What in the hell are you doing?" Widowmaker up there. Eventually that sucker's going to fall on some camper. He looks up there and he goes, No, you call us and we'll come, and we got a power pole saw and climbers that work for us. We'll take that shit up. I can't wait for you guys, man. I'm going to have a camper in here this evening. I'm sure of it. So, and he watched me. I yanked that big branch down out of that tree. I said, I don't want to be the host that has somebody hurt. I just don't, I don't want to have to deal with that. Keep them safe. Yeah. Hey, let's wrap it up, man.
I need to get to bed. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's wrap it up. Yeah, it's a half hour after my shutdown time anyway. I got a busy day tomorrow. I real early got to get up and go pay my rent.
There you go, right?
That's the most important thing tomorrow, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So hey, thanks for showing up there, Phil. Awesome.
Thanks for
Running
having me.
water. Thanks for the over the road live stream.
Oh, he's in Michigan now. I see the orange barrels.
Every state now. Every state. Even that stinking county road to my campground's got them damn barrels on them now. But the pedestal barbecue grill, 40 years of muck on there. Yeah. We don't have. I think we only have a half a dozen of those in all of our camps and picnic areas in our forest where I'm at right now. Yeah, they're slowly getting rid of every one of them. Yeah. If it's not a fire pit, it ain't gonna be there. Yeah. Bring your own barbecue for God's sake, John. That's it. I'd want to anyway.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to
exactly.
use one of them crappy barbecues.
No.
So guys, hey, thank you everybody for being here tonight. Hey, my subs finally exceeded 3,800. I am just amazed, man. I am amazed. I want to thank everybody for that. And it's us. We grew to 38, guys. It's not me. It's all of us together. And love y'all. I want you to stay safe this week. And I'll see you all next Wednesday, as usual. So until then, you all make sure to have a very good week. And we're going to dance grab that pretty girl, the only one in the house, and we're dancing our way out of here. See you later.
See ya.